She'll move you, she'll groove you, see through you, do you. She will turn into a make a baby, mo-mo, no slow-mo. It's no yo, she's no yo. She will help her brother take a stand, cause baby, she'll live. Song
Greetings. Thank you all for tuning in to the BZNZ Internet Talk Radio Show. We're so excited and happy to have you here tonight to be with us in our broadcast live stream. Just a few housekeeping chores before we get started and your gracious host comes online. Tonight you are in one of the best places that you could ever be, and for that you should just go ahead and give yourself a round of applause. Real quick, we'd like to give you a disclaimer. The show is not responsible for anything that is said on the show. There's your disclaimer. During the show, if you are vibing with us, you feeling what we're saying, and you would love to just give us a love token, where you're going to see at the bottom of the screen is going to say Cash App Tyron Joe, $ Tyron Joe, TYRENJO. Anything that you can give would be greatly appreciated. A one, a two, or a few. We greatly appreciate it. Also, if you would like to be a sponsor of the program, please go to our Instagram page at BZNZ Talk. At BZNZ Talk, our Instagram page. Also, you can go to our Facebook page at BZNZ Talk, at BZNZ Talk, and we will be glad to work with you. And also, a quick reminder throughout the show, I want to let you know that the likes are free, the dislikes are free, the love button is free, the share button is free, and the subscribe button is free. 5 things while you're viewing this broadcast. 5 things while you're learning and growing. 5 things that is for free, and we would love for you to partake in that during the program. Last but not least, once again, we want to thank you all for tuning in to our program, our broadcast, our live stream, because you are the ones that run the show. Thank you all. Peace. Be blessed.
We gon' talk about it. We gon' talk about it. We gon' talk about it. Situation shook, celebration. Too much we gotta learn. 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 DZNZ, Internet Talk Radio. We gon' talk about it. We gon' talk about it. We gon' talk about it. Situationship and relations. Harry Joe the host, start the conversation. Too much we gotta learn. Too much we gotta learn. Too much we gotta
You are now tuned into BZNZ Internet Talk Radio, where the relationship talk is the conversation that never sleeps and the payoff is never cheap.
Oh yeah, BZNZ is back once again. Oh yeah, we back once again, and man, I am thankful and grateful on tonight. I am thankful indeed and grateful on tonight. Man, you know how we do. Just go ahead real quick, give yourselves a round of applause. Oh yeah, give yourselves. Oh yeah, give yourself a round of applause. Man. BZNZ comes on every Thursday night, rain, sleep, or shine. I know I say 8 p.m. Eastern, but you know how it goes. Sometimes you got the technical glitches. And some people say come in fashionably late. Rain, sleet, or shine every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. BZNZ is brought to you by, and I do mean brought to you by, real men. Oh yeah, real men drink water. Oh yeah, real men drink water because what? Our ladies. If it's any other reason, fellas, to drink water, is it any other? If there's any other reason, fellas, to get in shape, do it for the ladies. Our ladies need us. Our ladies need us. Let us real quick, all over the building. We're gonna take a pause for the call. Y'all know how I promote this water now. We're gonna take a pause for the calls. All of the fellas all over the building. All of the fellas all over the building. Take a pause for the calls as we begin to have ourselves a sip. Get your coffee mug, get your sippy cup, whatever it is. Take a pause for the calls real quick. Oh man. Love my water. Love my water. Hey, you know what? We got a testimonial. I enjoy listening to our testimonials. Let's go. Let's see what we got going on.
When I look down, thanks be to God. Thanks be to God. When I look down, I can see the rod.
All right, one more time.
When I look down, thanks be to God. Thanks be to God. When I look down, I can see the rod.
3 times for the Trinity.
When I look down, thanks be to God. Thanks be to God. When I look down, I can see the rod.
You know, I know some people may laugh, be comical, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know, I promote drinking water. I mean, because that's something that a lot of people don't do. And I just throw a little bit of levity in there because, hey, it's people out here that do not believe that ED is real. Come on, some people, they don't believe that ED is real, and so they said, hey, I've been doing this for years, and now I don't know what happened. But what happened is probably the food that you eating, and now that you at a certain age, your manhood don't work no more. So now you got to go back to what you used to do. Come on now, you got to go back to it. And one of them is drinking some water, start walking, get you some vitamins, especially when you get to a certain age. Things don't work like they used to do. And this is why we promote drinking water, really our health. We're about the health, you know, that's what I can give you. We are about the health. Well, tonight, man, we got a special guest in the building, man. We do not plan to be before you long, but of course, we do plan to be before you strong. And let me see, we got a clip. Matter of fact, we got a few clips. Let me see. Do we have a promo? Yes, indeed. We got a promo we want to play. I think I'm gonna have to share my screen. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can share my screen. See what we got going on. Oh man, it say the site can't be reached. Okay. Let's see if we can share this one. I don't know. It said the site couldn't be reached on the other one. Let's see if we can go back to it again. No, it said it can't be reached. Oh, I don't know, Pastor. Okay. Look like we got something going on now. Okay. Let's get it right here. Cause yeah, we want to share this tonight. Okay, hold on, man. Hold on. Cause this is real deal too in our community. Real deal too in our community. Hold on, let me take that down. We're gonna share the screen. Let's see, share my screen. Play this promo tonight.
Hey everybody, this is Pastor G. And I need to tell y'all why I'm all in on events like next week's mental health symposium and some of the other things you see me posting. I'm all in because it's personal. I've had to face my own battles with mental health, and I've watched the people I love, family, fighting for their lives, fighting for their sanity. I've seen them fall into the same cycles of verbal and physical violence, silence, and pain that swallows them up, it swallowed their parents up, and it swallowed their grandparents up. We all know about the whispers, the secrets, the heavy silence at the family reunions in churches and sitting in living rooms. We know about that. We know about the incest, the molestation, the emotional abuse. We see the people we love struggle with trauma, but nobody wants to speak. Nobody could muster the courage to break the chain. And now we see the results: sickness, anger, obesity, defiance, self-defeat. We see the depression, the addiction, the high blood pressure, literally the slow deaths. We see it and we stay silent. We're willing to die protecting a silence that's killing us from the inside out. And one word could change it all: healing. So it's time to break out of your fear, to say what needs to be said, and to do what needs to be done. It's not easy. I know it ain't trying to protect people's comfort at the cost of your own freedom. You can stop dragging this dysfunction from one generation into the next. If you've had enough, if you know the next generation deserves better, I want to see you at the Cherish Your Mind Symposium next Saturday, July 19th from noon to 2 at the Indiana Convention Center, Wabash Ballroom number 2. Come learn, come hear from survivors, and get the help you need to move past the pain and turn it into purpose so you can free yourself, free your family, and free your future. I'll be there because I need it, and I hope you'll be there too. Now do me a favor. Share this video with somebody that you know needs to be there. And let's be a blessing to our community. This is Pastor G. Peace.
Now I start by using colored thread to carefully embroider along the bottom of the jeans pocket, forming a straight line. Once that's done, I roll the thread into a lovely flower shape, adding delicate details and finishing it off with cute green leaves for a charming, vibrant touch.
All right.
Now, on a shoe, I use colorful...
Please stop sharing. Hey, all right. Okay, we are back, man. Welcome back to the BZNZ Internet Talk Radio Show. Had to catch up with one of my co-hosts. I don't think he was looking at his phone when I sent the links. So we got that squared away, man. Hey, you know what? We ain't gonna hold the program no further along. So hey, without further ado, man, let's give a round of applause for Pastor John Girton, man. I'm just gonna say this. He is a pastor that's out here doing it. I just got to say it, there's a lot of pastors out here that, they just preaching from the, pulpit. But y'all see the ones that I bring onto the program, the ones that I'm bringing onto the program, they out here in the community. And these are the type of pastors that you need. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us bring on Pastor John Girton with a round of applause. Pastor G.
What's up? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Good.
Oh yeah.
What's happening? What's up, my
Man,
guy?
so man, let's get right into it, man. What'd you say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I see he's drinking his water, y'all. He drinking his water. Oh, okay. I said we're gonna get right into it, man. This Saturday you got a mental health symposium that you're gonna be doing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is a part of the Indiana Black Expo summer celebration. It's called the Cherish Your Mind, Understanding the Importance of Brain Health Symposium. And this is the second mental health symposium that they've done. They did it last year. They're bringing it back again to do it this year. And we're definitely hoping to grow and have even more people who come in to deal with two issues. The first issue is dealing with the stigma within our community that surrounds mental health. And the second is making sure that people know about resources that are available for those who are dealing with some type of mental challenge in their life. And I think it's important for us to all mention that you don't have to necessarily have a diagnosis. You don't have to necessarily have, what's called the DSM, bipolar, schizophrenia, or something like that. You can just, you know, be depressed. You could be going through a cycle of depression, um, and find yourself in a space where you need some help to kind of make it through that season. So this symposium this coming Saturday is from 12 noon to 2 o'clock p.m. At the Indiana Convention Center. And ultimately, we just want people, whether it is them or their child or a family member, somebody that they know, somebody that they love. We want to make sure that people know that they can show up and find a safe space where they can have conversations about what's going on in their life so that they can be free to live a full life and not be sort of challenged with what mental wellness can those challenges that happen when we're not mentally well in our lives.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good right there because yeah, we living in a world, we living in a time these days that you know people need somebody to talk to. I mean, especially post, yeah, I can't really say that name, but post I guess I know I can't even say the name because it started with a C, but they snatch a video down if you say it. So I'm gonna say post pandemic. I say that. We live in, post pandemic, man. A lot of people passed away, a lot of people died, and it's just really a lot of just a lot of trauma and depression is going on around here, and people is dealing with some heavy stuff. And you have people that'll walk up and talk crazy to you, and they ain't got a clue what's going on in your mind, and they just talking crazy. And they don't even know that that might be their last breath that they breathing.
Yeah,
They don't even
and
know.
well, and part of the reality of what we have to get beyond in our community is the simple fact that we've got a lot of people who are struggling with life. Okay, they're just struggling with the everyday situations that life
Yes.
brings, and because our community suggests that when you have mental health issues, then that constitutes that you are weak, right?
Oh,
If you have a mental health challenge, people will assume that you can't handle it, or whatever. And so
right.
what we typically do in our community is we walk around acting as if we got it under control or we got it
Oh,
handled. We are emotionless, and that becomes the standard by which we feel is okay, right? And what typically happens is that when you don't have ways to express what you're feeling on the inside, if you don't have ways to get that out of you, then you end up really emotionless. And an emotionless individual is not human, because it is human to have emotions. It is
Come on.
human to emote. And when you suppress your emotions internally, it will come out, but it will come out as hypertension. It will come out as diabetes. It will come out as high blood pressure. It will come out as a mental breakdown. It will come out with heart disease.
Homicide.
Yeah, it will come out. Yeah, it'll come out in ways that are
Suicide.
truly unhealthy if you don't emote, you don't get that out. But in our community, we think that, you know, everybody's supposed to just be okay and be able to. It'd be great if everybody could handle everything that happens in their life. The problem is that everybody can't. There are some people that need professional help. And let me also say this. Because as a pastor, I know that me being transparent about my own personal health issues opened up the opportunity for me to help other people who trusted, had put their trust and faith in me as their leader. My transparency opened up the opportunity for them to get help, because they realize, oh, it is okay to not be okay. It is okay to be a Christian and actually need help and to seek help. It is okay to both pray and to seek professional help at the same time. That is okay. And so there's this other piece that I think is going on, where our leaders in our communities, the trusted leaders in our community, have to be honest about their own journeys and their own situation, their own families, so that they can give, really, and sort of give the signal to others that it's okay to seek help. We see it in the entertainment field. We see it in athletics. We see it in, with our Hollywood and whatnot. We see individuals all the time say, hey, you know what? I'm talking to my therapist. I'm talking to my therapist. I was talking to my therapist. This is what I've been going through, and I've had to talk to my therapist. They've sort of normalized this conversation, but in the Black community, not number one, we are finding that in the Black community, Black African American men in the state of Indiana are 3 times more likely to fall victim to suicide than any other gender or race in the state of Indiana. 3 times, 3 times. Let me see, 1, 2, 3 times more likely. Okay, and so that's an indication, that should be an indication to us as leaders to say something needs to happen. We need to pay attention to what's going on. Right now, 1 in 3 Black adults in need of mental health treatment, actually only 1 in 3 actually get it. So that means 2/3 of the individuals who need help don't get it. They don't seek it, right? So we've got some challenges to get over in our own communities with regard to asking and seeking help when we find ourselves in situations that we cannot handle, as opposed to your point, committing suicide, committing homicide, committing fraternicide, committing sororicide, right? Um, we've got some things that we need to deal with, so that what's going on the inside of us doesn't become destructive on the outside of us.
Absolutely. And back to what you were saying is that, we have people, we have a lot of church people, and I had to ask the question, like, there's a lot of church, they believe that, hey, I don't need to, I got Jesus. And
Mhm.
you know what, for the most part, I say this, that is who we supposed to go to. My mother taught me as a kid, even when I became an adult, she's like,
Mhm.
hey, you ain't got nobody else to talk to. She said, I know somebody that you can talk to.
Well, and here's the deal. Nobody's saying don't talk. Nobody's saying don't pray. Nobody's saying don't go to church. Nobody's saying don't read your Bibles or listen. What we're saying is that this particular scripture is real. Prayer without works is dead. Okay, so just because you pray does not necessarily mean that that's the end of it, right? Healing is possible. You can get beyond where you are, and I believe that God, just like God provided somebody to help you when you have a heart attack, just like God provided somebody that can help you when you have a high blood pressure, just like God, provided somebody to help you when you break your arm, God also can provide you someone when your brain breaks. That's all we're saying. Prayer without works is dead. You gotta do something after you pray, and not just sit back and wait on God to deliver you without any action on your part.
Absolutely, I totally agree. Put some action behind it. Now we got to get down with the dirty stuff. Okay, you're gonna be on the Indiana Black Expo. You're gonna be there. Now we got to talk about Indiana Black Expo because I've been holding them accountable for years, and
Hmm.
they still are disappointing. One area I gotta ask. Okay, what happened to the free concert? It seemed like the past couple years that concert ain't been free.
Yeah, I don't work for Indiana Black Expo, so I do not know the inner workings of the organization and why things are the
Oh,
way
okay.
they are. But what I do know is, and again, I don't know when the concert stopped being free. I haven't
Couple
really.
years ago.
Yeah, I've been whenever I've gone to Indiana Black Expo, I've worked in the at a booth like for Martin University. So I've been at the booth doing my thing, and so typically after I've been at the booth all day for 2 or 3 days straight, I'm going home. So I don't necessarily do the concert and those kind of things. But you also got to understand that when you're talking to me, you're talking to somebody who started working with Indiana Black Expo in the 1980s. I started
Oh,
working with Indiana Black Expo in 1984, 1985, something like that. So I started working with Indiana Black Expo when it was
yeah.
under the leadership of Reverend Charles Williams on Sutherland. That's where the offices were. So as early as 15 years old, I was introduced to really the Indiana Black Expo experience. That included at that time the picnic. I think we called it the Soul Picnic or something like that, which was at Washington Park. That also included obviously the Circle City Classic that included the summer celebration. And so, again, when you're talking to me, you're talking to someone who has experienced Indiana Black Expo at its fullest, at its fullest. Okay. And so, that being the case, I do recognize that what we see today is not necessarily what we saw back in the 1980s and 1990s. And there's just a tremendous shift. And so, I can't explain it. I don't know why those things have happened, but I would say in the season that we are in, and I believe you understand what I'm saying when I say this, and your listeners will understand. In the season that we are in today, sponsorships for activities that are primarily geared towards the African American community or the Black community, sponsorships have been disappearing. And
Oh, okay.
so
Sponsorships. Okay.
so I don't feel any kind of way in saying that because I think again, I think you and I think your listeners understand exactly what I'm saying when I say what I just said. Sponsorships have been disappearing, and I know about that intimately because we just had a conference a few weeks ago, and many of the sponsors, and I'll call them out, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is one of our major sponsors. I got on the phone with them, and they was like, I don't know if we can now because of the commitment that we had to the urban servant leader in the community, we still were able to pull off a free conference. We didn't charge anybody. We fed everybody, right? We gave them grab bags. We had the youth there. We fed the youth. We had transportation. We were able to pull it off, but it was not without the challenges of not having our major sponsor. So if Indiana Black Expo is going through anything like what we went through, I understand why some things are no longer free or not even there at all, simply because those who were sponsoring it are having a little bit of a difficulty finding justification to sponsor something that is geared towards the African American community, and that is sad.
So Pastor, you telling me that at one point in time that the Blue Cross they was okay to sponsor it, and then they changed their mind and told you, hey, we can't do it.
This is not. I'm separating Indiana Black Expo from my nonprofit organization, Unite for Change. Our Urban Servant Leadership Unconference. The last time we had it in 2019, we had a sponsor by the name of Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. That same sponsor, when we called them back for our current conference that just happened this past July, they made it clear that actually it was in June. Yeah, June. Jeez, these months are like flying past.
They are.
They made it clear that they were not able to sponsor us this year because we are an organization that is catering to the minority community. And so we didn't receive a dime from them. They did give us some bags. They gave us some bags, some some bags, but that's all. So no
But
sponsorship dollars.
in the past when you was catering to the urban community, they sponsored you. But this
Yeah,
year
yeah.
they decided
This year
not
they
to.
did. Yeah. And so all I'm saying is that if Indiana Black Expo in the season that we're in right now under the Barabbas administration, if Indiana Black Expo is going through anything close to what we're going through right now,
He
I
said
understand
Barabbas.
why some things are the way they are.
Hey,
Yeah,
he said
I don't call
Barabbas.
that Barabbas is I mean, that's what they said in the Bible. They said we don't want Jesus. Give
Give
us
us
the criminal.
Barabbas. That's what they
Give us the
said.
crook. And so that's what we've done in America. We said we don't want actually a president. We want a crook. So we got Barabbas.
Let me say this though. Yeah, I'm the reason why I'm calling out Black Expo because I volunteered for them for 7 years, from
Mm,
2013 to 2020, and uh, I'm like, man, how can you say not only say that the concert gonna be free, but they said that okay, we're gonna have tickets starting out at $10. Well, somebody
mm,
on my Facebook page the other day, they went online where the ticket sales, and it looked like the sales were starting at $22. So it's like, come
mm.
on, man, come
Gotcha.
on, what's going on?
Yeah.
Then some of the vendors, they can't. One lady, they needed a DJ, where they told her she couldn't come back because she demanded them that they pay her money.
Mm,
They owed her money, but it got rained out. And she's like, no, the contract says rain or shine, I'm still
mm,
going to get paid. So they didn't want to pay her money because they got rained out one of those years. And so since
mm.
she demanded they pay the money, they said you can't come back.
Yeah, and that what I'm hearing you say with regard to that, as well as the ticket situation. I think in situations like that, our own organizations, particularly in our own community, be as transparent as they can about things like that. And I would want really let me say this: every organization, African American led organization that is concerned about the African American community does not always have the capacity to deal with the challenges that come up, the challenges that we face. Like the things that you just described are issues that all it would really take is somebody to explain why did this happen this way? Because here's what happens when you don't explain something, what people do is that they conjure up in their own mind what really happened, whether that's
Right,
true or not. Either you're either going to address the situation or you're going to allow people to run away with their own ideas about what happened. And so, I don't have the answer to that, but what I do know is that I, just like you, would call them out and say, hey, we need some transparency here. We need to know what happened, and we need to know
absolutely.
why that happened, because all you got to do, the Bible says the truth shall make you free. Just tell the truth, because that'll make you free. Not only will that make you free, that would also make sure that people trust you, right, moving
Mhm.
forward.
Right,
And at our black led organizations that deal with African American community interests need to be transparent. You heard me talk about that a minute ago about mental health. I can't be free. People cannot trust me, be free to trust me if I'm not being honest with them and myself. I got to
Mhm.
be honest. To thyself
Absolutely.
be true. That's all we're saying. And
Yes,
so if they're going to be in our community, then they must tell the truth. Now, at the same time, we have to be able to be as clear as possible about the issues. Just like what you just said. You said, man, the tickets, they said they started at $10, but we went in, they were 22, right? I wouldn't personally know that, because after Expo, when I get off that floor, I go home. I don't go to no concerts. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? So that's not an issue that I would understand or that I would know about, right? But
right,
those who do, it is their responsibility to say something about whatever happened, and it's Expo's
mhm,
responsibility to respond
right,
appropriately so that people understand what's going on. Because if you don't, like I said, people form their own opinions about what happened, and if you don't deal with that, it becomes conspiracy theories. It becomes all kind of stuff.
right.
You
And
know.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna move on. The thing is, when they got rained out a couple years ago, they still didn't refund the people the $10.
Yeah.
They
See.
didn't refund the people the $10, but the young lady that was the DJ, they still didn't want to pay her. Like, hold on, how you gonna hold the people's $10, but you still don't want to pay the DJ because it got rained out? Come on, we got to make it make sense.
No, I
But
totally.
let me say this though. I want you to talk about that unconference because I was getting all of the all of the the correspondence, but my apologies. I was not able to make it because I
Mhm.
got two jobs, and both my two jobs was just they was just working me, and I was like, man, I want to try to get there, but I work overnights on Fridays and Saturdays, and when I got home that Saturday morning when y'all had that conference, man, I was
You was
knocked out
done.
the rest of the day. So yeah, talk about that. Let everybody know what that is because I see y'all really did it big. Y'all had a ball. And that's and not only that, y'all got some education and some understanding in there for the community, which is something that we need.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and if I'm not mistaken, you were at that meeting
With
at the
Pastor Larry.
center. Yeah, you were there, right?
Yeah, and we had Pastor Larry on just last week. But yeah, I was
Yeah,
at that meeting at the Jewel
Jewel
Center.
Center, right? So honestly, you were one of the few people because it was only like 12 people at that meeting.
Yeah.
And we were dealing with what's going on in our community, all the stuff that was happening, the executive orders, DEI stuff, the stuff coming down from the feds. We were dealing with all of that stuff at that meeting. And if you remember correctly, I had made a statement about, hey, we already have sort of a strategy that's coming together for us to deal with some of this stuff. Let's just pick that up. And you remember it was the councilman, Duke Oliver stood up. Remember that? Duke stood up and said, yeah, let's go. And from that meeting,
That's who that was. I don't know all the councilmen. So
yeah,
that's who it was.
it
Okay.
was Duke Oliver. Duke Oliver got up and made his statement, left that meeting, went right over to Tina Cosby's radio show and said, "You need to talk to Pastor G." Tina called me, and we immediately. I mean, it was right at the same day. We immediately established the fact that we were going to host the eighth Urban Servant Leadership Unconference, and I got on the radio that morning or that afternoon, and I told them to keep their eyes and ears open because we were going to do something. And like literally 4 months later, boom, we did it.
Yeah. Y'all got moving and it actually
It
happened. I was
happened.
like, oh
Yeah.
wow. And I
Mhm.
got Danger on here. Danger, that's my co-host. I brought him on in. What's going on, Danger?
Good evening, my friends, my fellow friends. Good evening. Hey, how you doing, Doctor? No disrespect. You're a great guy, man. I like you. I like your pops and all of you, man. You guys are good. Do you remember years ago there was a radio station that was 24/7 gospel music called Joy 96?
Yeah, I do. Say that again.
Are you there, Doc? Do
I
you
am.
remember years ago there was a radio station called WPZZ, Joy
Yeah.
96, where we
Yeah.
had Tim Thompson, Vanessa Tanner, Robert Turner, the
Hmm.
Laughing DJ, and all them guys is playing that gospel music 24 and 7.
I certainly do. I certainly
Well,
do.
I'm the weekend guy, I'm the weekend guy, the Laughing DJ. But anyway, sir, I wanted to say, I think, I think now this is me on the outside looking in. I think one problem with Expo is the people that are out there planning and doing the do. In my opinion, they're not networking with the sponsors like they supposed to. You can't just you're gonna have a concert on Tuesday. You just want to meet me on Monday, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give you a ton of money because you got a concert coming Tuesday. You got to be out there and eat lunch with me and network with me a little bit so we can get on what they call the buddy buddy plan. And that, in my opinion, is missing from Expo over the last few years.
Hmm. You know what? Here's
Because
what I would say to here's what I would say to that. Um, the first thing I would say to that is, and again, I started working with Indiana Black Expo in 1984, I think it was. So I've been around Expo for a long time, and then there was a big gap. I wasn't anywhere near Expo for like 18 years, from 1995 till really till this year. I wasn't really involved in Indiana Black Expo much at all. But here's what I would tell you in terms of the difference between what I see today and what I saw back then. The first thing I would say is we live in Indiana. Anybody that has resources that go to the African American community that comes from the majority community is not about relationship. It's only about resource. People in the state of white folks in Indiana do not want a relationship with black people. Okay. They want to check a box. And if giving money to Indiana Black Expo checks the box, they're done. They don't want a relationship with you. They don't want a relationship with me. They don't want a relationship with our community. They don't care anything about us in the state of Indiana. Okay. They don't want a relationship with us. We as a people are relationship first and resources second. We say, you got to show me that you care. You got to show me that you love me and my community. You got to show me that, and then we can move on. In the state of Indiana, white folk don't care nothing about that. They say, all we want is your resource. We want your stuff. And once we get that, we gone. This is why Indiana Black Expo is going to be challenged as long as they're taking money from the majority community. Back years and years and years ago, when I was working with Indiana Black Expo, it was the church that was supporting Indiana Black Expo. It was church people that were supporting Indiana Black Expo, right? It was the artists that were coming in. They were coming in from Jack the Rapper. You remember Jack the Rapper conferences down there in Florida? We were being supported by Bob Johnson, who had just started BET out of Washington, D.C. You feel me? It was black people who were supporting Indiana Black Expo. When we went out and did the Dust Bowl out of Washington Park, we didn't need a bunch of sponsors for that. You had the Indiana Pacer players who were coming out playing in the Dust Bowl with people from the community. Am I right about it? You feel what I'm saying? It was us supporting us. Now it's the corporations that are supporting us, and we are no longer in the equation. Mm-hmm. And so what we're dealing with today is when you take money from corporations, they will take over your stuff. They will then dictate what you can do. And that's our problem. We cannot take, this is why I'm saying to you, Tyrant, this is why I'm saying, when we did the unconference, Anthem said, we ain't supporting y'all because DEI is dead, supporting black owned businesses is dead, supporting black people is dead, opportunities is dead, diversity is dead. They didn't care nothing about us at that point. And what did we do? We had to look within ourselves in order to get the resources to still serve our people.
Yes.
There must come a day where Indiana Black Expo does not take money from the corporations and looks within its own community to find the resources to do what we want to do and do what we need to do for ourselves and not rely on them to do it for us.
That means we got to go back to the beginning, how it used to be.
You got it. Full stop.
And Danger used to hoop in the Dust Bowl tournament.
Yeah, I played out there. Now this name right here might be a little bit beyond your time. Mr. Reggie Jones and the Swing Master Dust Bowl tournaments.
What do you mean? Reggie Jones? What do you mean? That's my homeboy. That's my homeboy.
I thought I'd throw that out there for you, because we did Dust Bowl tournament with Don Cox, Woody, Woody Woodson and all them guys, and it was more like, I guess it's my old age telling on me, but I just feel like and you can't speak on this because you're not Expo, but in my opinion, I think the board of directors have really forgotten the footmark of what Dr. Williams was trying to do, in my opinion, because they even to the point where they brought in a president to get an award who doesn't like any black people. So that was crazy, and they need, in my opinion, they need to retool the board of directors, like Charles Jr., and some of the other guys that still hold on to what it really took to get the ball rolling. Because this thing of them going after corporate dollars is only pushing the black folks that they supposed to be supporting and thinking about, it's only pushing them further away. Why would you take a concert and put it out in Brownsburg? know good and well some of us assists. Now that's a college term. I learned that, Martin. Us assists. Don't let Professor JL hear me say that now.
It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. I'm gonna let him know. Brother
See,
Myers, that's my guy.
because you take and put this concert in Brownsburg. You know, some of the folks out there that's darker pigmented gonna be Seuss in the sauce, and then they got to come through these redneck sheriffs and deputies and stuff, and they don't want to deal with all of that. You know, getting pulled over, getting tickets and all that. Where back in the day, it was it was kind of cool. They down at Washington Park, the Soul Picnic, even the one down at Douglas Park. Correction, Reggie'd have a fit if I said that. Frederick Douglass Park.
Yes,
Yeah.
Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey. No.
Frederick Douglass Park. I mean, we had the thing going on back there. But I just think I just think the board of directors need to go back to the drawing board and say, hey, how can we do this? How can we do that? And if they need be, I mean, we got some churches in the city here that can throw $2 or $3 out there to get the ball rolling. What they call what's that word they like to use? Oh yeah, seed money. Throw a little faith money out there.
Well, you know what, and you know what. Here's the deal. Even with that, I look at it this way: if they don't do it, organizations like Butter, you know what I'm saying, gang, people like
Uh-huh.
gang are going to fill the gap. Bottom, full stop. If the Expo doesn't do it, gang will do it. What's the other group that Don't Sleep will do it, right? All these other organizations that are out here doing things, they're doing that because there's a gap that needs to be filled. They're coming on Black Joy here, Black Joy that, art expression, all this, that, and the other. They're doing those things, I believe, because there was a void in the community, right?
Yeah.
And so if Expo doesn't do it, guess what? Gang will. Don't Sleep will, and any other organization is doing. Madam C.J. Walker, their board. You see what they're doing, right? They're doing just as much as Expo was doing, right down at the Walker.
Right.
So if they don't do it, guess what? Other people will. Bottom line.
I say the Juneteenth committee with James
Yeah,
Webb, man, they
yeah,
doing
James
an
Webb.
awesome job. And James Webb, he is from Gary, and I've had
Yeah,
him on the show before. He from my hometown. We went to high school together, and I mean he came here to Indianapolis, and he is doing excellent with the Juneteenth
yeah.
celebration.
So that's case in point, right? Case in point, doing a great job at the same location that Indiana Black Expo started at, which is the fairgrounds, the Indiana State Fairgrounds. The same place Expo started in the early '70s. So what if they don't? Here's the deal: if you don't, somebody else will. Bottom line. So if they, it's up to them. And you saw what happened with the WNBA, right? WNBA came in and said, "This is what we doing." Bam. And then said, "Oh, by the way, Expo, is there anything y'all want to do?" After they had already took control of everything, right?
Right.
So
Same week.
this is not rocket science.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I noticed here lately, Expo used to be X number of days, and they didn't chop those days down to just a couple of days now,
Yeah.
And it seems like where Expo used to be downtown, I guess there's a yellow streak on the board of directors back where we're out in the suburbs now. We're in Brownsburg, or we're out in Watusi Land or Gizmo Mars or somewhere, where a lot of chocolate people can't really make it out there. So therefore the number's gonna be down because they can't get out to Brownsburg.
And then
Where
then the bus lines will be right. The bus lines gonna be closed by the time that free concert is over with. Like they can catch the bus out there, but what time? I think Indigo shut down 11:45, 12 o'clock.
11:45, the last train coming in.
Yep.
Ain't nothing going out.
But you have two things going on there. The first thing that's going on is that the event has not only reduced in terms of its time frame in some respects, but also when you go into the actual convention center. Y'all remember we used to have StarQuest, in the RCA Dome. Remember that?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Right. So you remember when you walked into the RCA Dome, you had all kind of events and activities happening in the RCA Dome, including StarQuest, right? And you had
Right.
the boxing going on, right? And so I mean, it was everywhere, right? And it's truncated now, and nowhere near as large as it was back then. So that's the first thing going on.
It's
The,
2 minutes.
the second thing that you have going on is we have these truant young people who have created so much havoc in the downtown district that it really is fueling all of this backlash against our community from these white people who want to control us in the first place. I'm not saying that's why we go into Brownsburg, but what I am saying is they don't want Negroes downtown in Indianapolis anymore. And that is nobody's fault but our community who have allowed our people and our children to go down there and do things that they knew they shouldn't have been doing.
Absolutely.
So now we have no leg to stand on in our community because there was no question about what race those 7 folk were who got shot downtown. There was no question about the not only the race but the gender and the age, the demographic of those 2 folk who died downtown. There was no question whatsoever. Everybody who assumed was correct. They were black. The police chief was talking about black kids downtown Indianapolis, and they have now fueled this foolishness from the governor of the state of Indiana, who actually is going to who's going to say out of his foolish mouth that we need to now control downtown Indianapolis and take it away from the mayor and the prosecutor, and we're going to control downtown. Who did that? Not them. We did it. So no wonder we're pushing stuff out to Brownsburg and other places. They are moving us around because our young people have gotten out of control because our leaders in our black community are out of control. Our adults are out of control. And if we want something to have control of, to put it where we want it to be so we can have access to it, then we need to act right. And we need to show some leadership. We need to collaborate. We need to partner. We need to come together. We need to stop fighting, stop fussing, and start working together.
Absolutely.
I'm just being honest, because this foolishness is going on right now with all these people talking about we're gonna take over downtown. That's ridiculous. We already seen what happens when white people put their hands on something. They destroy it. They tear it up. They rip it to shreds.
What are you trying to do? He's trying to have like the state police down there?
No, they literally shoot. I can read it for you because I pulled it up. Hold on. Let me see if I got it. They literally, and again, they taken their leadership from Braun. Let me see. This is ridiculous, y'all. This is ridiculous what they're talking about right now. So now Governor Braun, 17 hours ago, is now addressing the violence in Indianapolis, right? Braun, yeah. So, well, this was just talking about Braun calling out Hogsett and Mears over the recent Indianapolis. So now state politics is getting involved in the local politics from the same people who say that we don't want government dealing with our local issues. Now you want state government to deal with our local issues here in central Indiana, right? What sense does that make? I don't know any white person any white person that takes control of anything in our community that becomes better. It becomes worse. Why? Because the only person that they care about is their own people. Only white people is who they care about. That's all they care about. So they don't care about diverse people finding joy in our community. So when if Braun is allowed to do what he's trying to do, which is take over the leadership of Indianapolis and get rid of the mayor, we're going to have havoc in Indianapolis. We're going to have straight havoc in Indianapolis. They're going to sell our downtown to corporations, to oligarchs. They're going to sell our downtown to other people, and nobody of color is going to be able to go downtown. You're going to be afraid because you're going to think that they're going to find a reason to arrest you and take you to Alligator Island.
Ooh-wee.
And that's basically what I have noticed, because I grew up right there. I grew up right there where the highway came through 1403 Bell Fountain. I grew up right down in that area. And now all you see is the lighter skinned people, the lighter pigmented people. And it's the politicians and it's some of us as people that don't take time to read and see what the politicians are doing.
Man.
Before the politicians came up with that child abuse clause that they have out there, the parents was able to whoop the kids and the kids were scared to get crazy like they are now. But most of us chocolate people, we've got children that are lighter than we are. They're our blood children, but they're lighter than we are. And if we whoop them, they got a bruise on them. And the first thing you know, CPS is knocking on our door talking about, I need to come and get your kid.
Right.
Now, see, it's them same politicians that are making silly rules and laws like that are the same politicians that was getting whooped when they were little. And see, they didn't grow up to be politicians and stuff. Now they roll the dice again. Just like when Governor Braun came in there, they elect him governor. I don't know why. First thing he do is go after Martin University. That's the first thing he do. He can't even sit down in his seat without going after Martin. We're going to slash this and slash that. He goes down to IU and start beating up on their board of directors. The black people of this community, in my opinion, and it ain't worth 2 cents, but in my opinion, they are Johnny come lately. Okay, the city county council, for the most part, they have their meetings concerning issues of the city when we're working 9 to 5. That's when they have their meetings. We can't take our work to go to their meetings. Then when they get it all stripped down and they got something going on at night, we can't go downtown to attend the meetings because by the time we go downtown and attend the meetings, then they start throwing tickets out on your cars and stuff. You see what I'm saying? So we, the Johnny come lately chocolate people, we really don't make a move until after things have already been put in effect.
Yeah.
And when it's put in effect, and then we goes, well, they should have done this, or they should have did this or that, or this or that. No, they got a little clause that they use. It says certain types of meeting in government has to be publicized to the public. They take out a little small ad in the newspaper and type it real small, and they throw it out there and say, yeah, we did. We let the public know it's not our fault they didn't read it. And it's basically our fault.
Now there should be. I served on one of those city boards. I served on the Citizens Review Board, but I also served on the Video and Telecom Board for the city. And all of our meetings were broadcast on channel, I think it's 17, channel 17, channel 16. That's it, channel 16. Yeah. So that there should be access at least that way. But but still, to your point, if they're having it when people are working, 9 times out of 10, you can't be sitting there watching TV while you're at work. That's just the bottom line. So I do get your point in that regard, but at the same time, I'm feeling like there ought to be access. And here's another thing that you're pointing out, and that is that we need to be proactive about the needs of our community and not reactive. That's what I think I hear you saying. And being proactive means that we need to be dissecting these conversations to determine whether what's being said is or is not in our best interest. Right. If it is not in our best interest, then we need to plan, strategize, and do what we need to do to ensure that we are communicating to those people who are in power to say, hey, we elected you. This is not in our best interest, and here are our recommendations. We suggest that you listen to us, or we will rally the troops and vote you out, right? Which is not what we're doing, right? That's not what we're doing. Full stop. Right. And I'm done. I'm done.
I say this. It's gonna be interesting to see what happened this weekend because we know it ain't gonna be nothing but black people down there with the Black Expo and the WNBA.
Ain't nothing gonna happen this weekend. You ain't got to worry about that. Not with the WNBA here. And nothing gonna happen this weekend.
Yeah, ain't nothing but cops. I was down there last night. Ain't nothing but cops down there.
Yeah, they ain't. I'm surprised they don't have perimeters checking people before they cross over certain, before they cross over 10th Street or before they cross over Washington. I'm surprised they don't have perimeters set up with tech checkpoints or whatever. But now ain't nothing gonna happen downtown.
You know what I think? I think low key they do I work for a company. You know, I drive for a living at both my jobs, and one of my companies, I'm going to be picking people up tomorrow from the airport, dropping them off at their hotels. And one of my managers gave me a list of all the different detours and cutoffs that's going to be taking place in the city. So I believe some of them detours and cutoffs, you're going to have police presence heavily.
Yeah. And then of course I
Well,
see that 10 Point is going to be down there. Some local pastors are going to be down there. And whenever you got church people to show up, as soon as they show up, everybody else leaves. So there that is.
well, I can assure you,
He
I
said,
can
as soon
assure
as you
you
got
that
church people
it's.
to show up, everybody leave.
Well, I mean, that's usually the way it happens in most
Yeah. What?
cases. But
Yeah.
that's gonna be some riffraff down there, but it's not gonna be on a major level. Like, cause
No.
see, one thing about one thing I've noticed about the media in Indianapolis, they like to high point the badness of the darker pigmented people.
Right.
They
Come on.
like to high point that, and therefore, when they doing that, just like when I lived in Carmel a few years ago, I was at Myers buying some groceries because I lived at
You shouldn't have been
126
living in no
Guilford Road.
Carmel. You shouldn't have been living in
Yeah,
Carmel.
I need to live up there, man. I need to live on the moon, get away from y'all people. Yes. Now, and I was buying some stuff, and I heard the little kid behind me. He told his mom, he said, "Hey, mom, he doesn't have a tail." And the lady face just turned blood red. And I said, "Well, don't worry about it, ma'am. What that
He
is
doesn't have a what?
they're being told certain things about black people.
You
And
said a
then when you
tail?
a tail, monkey tail."
No way. I'm gonna say this though, Danger. I think you need to join Pastor John's panel that he's gonna be doing this weekend, because you done told me this story 1,000 times. And since I done met you, you always bring up this boy tell his mama that
Hey,
you
man,
had a tail. So you might need to go
so
on and check out that. What is it, the mental health panel he got going on?
Yeah.
Go check it out, because you might need to talk to somebody about that, Danger.
well, if I do go there and talk to them, all the doctors gonna give up their profession and start shooting the craps on the street. No, but see what that was is that was letting me know, they were letting me know that his parents are talking in the suburbs about black people.
Yeah.
And then when you get it flashed on the news, like, okay, then check it out. On the news a couple of days ago, young guy stopped by the police because of the incident downtown. Young guy had an AK-47 stuck in his pants. Okay, now this I know, and you know it too, T. A lot of kids will have an angel halo when they're around their parents. But after they get away from around their parents, the devil horns pop up.
You already know.
So and then you got Chief Bailey talking about, we're going to start holding the parents accountable. How you going to hold the parents accountable for something the politicians done already done? You stopped us from whooping our kids, to having the fear in our kids, to now we look at our kids and they holler, "I'm dialing 911. CPS coming out here." Now, I know a lot of people will say, "Well, that's my child. I'm going to whoop my child." Let me see you do it. You see, they'll say that.
They'll be at your door.
Do it. That's right. At your door, just tearing the door down with a warrant to take you on out of there. So they're going about it the wrong way. You cannot hold, in some cases, you cannot hold the parent responsible for what their kid do when they're not in the presence of their kid. I've seen young girls going downtown for the 4th. I'm riding down there with my lady, and I'm seeing young girls going to booty shorts. I mean, you look, you're 12 and 30, 18 years old. You ain't even got nothing back there, but you're wearing booty shorts. Did your mother know you wore that, or did you wear something else and went over your friend's house and changed out of it? So your mother responsible for that?
You already know the game. You already know the game.
Yeah,
But here's my thing, though, Danger. Here's my thing. This, honestly, None of this should have been a conversation from the beginning, the way it has developed. According to statistics, homicides are at a 6-year low in the city. Homicides are trending down. All right. Now, violent shootings are up, but homicides are down. Here's the reality: perception is the reality. The facts are no longer the reality. Right. And then when you add on top of the perception that crime is up, when in fact crime is down, when you add on top of that incidents like what we had the other day, all it does is give fuel to the fire that these politicians want to use to usher in militarism, to usher in all of these policies and all these laws to lock our kids up, right? The only thing with what they're saying about downtown Indianapolis, according to the statistics, is not true. I'm just telling you, it isn't. That's the statistics say homicides are down. Okay. But that's while that may be true, the perception, which is the narrative that they are pushing, is that downtown Indianapolis is dangerous. And you can go even further than that and say because of black youth and black parents who are not being responsible for their young people. That's really what they're saying. Whether it's true or not, the perception is the reality. And so what we're talking about really shouldn't be a conversation. And even further, if there's a conversation to be had, it shouldn't be with the governor. It shouldn't be with this dude. Let me tell you this dude's name. Let me put it on the record. It shouldn't be with this guy named Senator Young, who's Senator Michael Young, Republican Indianapolis. It shouldn't be with Michael Young. It shouldn't be with Braun. It shouldn't be with Hogsett. It shouldn't be with the prosecutor. The conversation should be in our community about our families and our children. That's who the conversation should be. But
Uh-oh. Did you mute yourself, Pastor? You muted. You muted. You muted. Muted. I don't know what happened. I see him talking, but I don't hear nothing. Oh, I'm not hearing nothing. What is happening? I'm not hearing. Okay. Maybe go out and come back in.
try that. How's that?
All right, there we go. What happened?
Yeah. What happened is my daughter is calling me on my phone, and when she called me, all my stuff went to the phone and left the
Yeah.
computer. So I need hold on. Let me tell my wife to deal. Okay, I don't know what to say. Nobody's. So yeah, my daughter was calling me. She kept calling. She called 3 times. Sorry about that. But anyway, I'm just saying that in our community, the conversation shouldn't be with Braun. It shouldn't be with Senator Michael Young. It shouldn't be with Hogsett. It shouldn't be with the prosecutor. The conversation should be in our community with our parents and our children. That's where the conversation needs to be. But when stuff like what happened on 4th of July happened, when that happens, we render the conversation to people who will politicize what's going on in our homes. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening. And I hate it.
Absolutely. I don't know what happened to Danger, but absolutely. And this is why I was bringing up this whole situation, because it's bad down there. And I had a few more things that I wanted you to hit on, because we had Pastor Larry on last week, and Pastor Larry, he gets at me sometime, because I'm not a Trump supporter by any stretch of the imagination, but is what I was taught as far as politics. I don't know much about it, but what I was taught is when whoever's in office, you're supposed to get behind them and hold them accountable. Not just get behind them and just do everything or whatever everything they say do. No, don't do that. But you hold them accountable, hold their feet to the fire. And so he was asking about, you know, what we think of DEI. He was asking us that last week. And I'm gonna get your opinion, but I'm gonna say mine is that I work with a lot of people from different countries, and I'm not a dummy. I'm not a fool. A lot of these people from different countries, you know, they get real comfortable. You know, I guess I create a comfortable environment. So, you know, they like Tyrant, oh, Tyrant, this, and that. And when they get real comfortable, they begin to, you know, express, you know, their feelings about certain things. And what I've noticed is that Pastor G, that they come into America. I got to turn my camera off. It look like we going down on the web. Okay. What they do, they'll come into America, they'll soak up all this African American rich culture. They eat the food, they do the dance, they know the songs, they come on now, they know Jay-Z, they know Beyonce, they know all that, they know the rap songs, they know all that, they know how to twerk. But what happened is they go back to their country and they dog out the African American. They talk about how the African American ain't this, how they ain't that, and I'm not a dummy. And so that's what I'm saying. They get real comfortable and then they begin to tell me certain things that they dislike about the African American and how, you know, I do not identify with the African American. Well, how is that possible when you just got through singing a whole Jay-Z song? I mean, a whole Beyonce song. You just got through rapping Jay-Z, but you don't identify as African American. Let the cop come right now, and we all gonna be in the same boat.
Well, you know, here's my perspective on that. My perspective is that the reason, to me, the reason why individuals can feel that way in other countries isn't necessarily because, hey, whoever oh man, it just went away. Okay,
That's
hey there.
Kiki.
I see the comment, so I was just saying hello to that
Join the
person. So
stream,
anyway,
Kiki. Join the stream.
so here's my perspective. I, I can't be mad at that person for going back to wherever they came from and saying ill things about our community when we say ill things about our community all the time, right? When we don't support our black businesses, we don't support our black institutions, we no longer are we supporting our black churches, right? So we don't even support the upliftment of our own community. We talk everything down. We don't partner. We don't collaborate. We don't support one another. We don't show up for one another. And so I can't be mad at somebody else for saying derogatory things about my community when I hear my community saying derogatory things about itself all the time.
But hold on, I want to pause you right there because we had still even to this day with the ICE situation, it's a lot of people from the Latino, the Mexican community that is they just mad at the African American. But the thing is, though, I've been around them, they disrespect us too. And I'm like, well, how is it that you want our help, you want us to come to your aid, but you treat us bad?
Well,
I'm not saying all, because matter of
yeah,
fact, it's a grocery store right up the road. I go up there and shop with them all the time. But I'm just saying this is that I'm not a dummy. I see some of the stuff you have said about us. I know a little bit of Spanish. I know what's going on. Come on, we're not a dummy. Why do you want us to come to your aid now when you did all this, but now you want us to come to your aid?
I mean, that's again, that's politicizing. It politicizing to go back to what Danger was saying earlier. It's politicizing the resources and relationship piece, right? It's being transactional and not transformational, right? So what that means is that I only come to you when it's going to benefit me. Bottom line, what's in it for me? And if I can't get anything out of this exchange, I'm on the other side of the room. And that's how people treat African Americans. They can build their movement off of our backs as long as it is benefiting them. When it's no longer benefiting them, they're on the other side of the room. And the
Right.
problem with that is that we as a community allow that to happen. As long as they are
Made them rich, Pastor G.
say what?
We have made them rich. The Mexican
Yes.
community, we've made, especially the gas station community, we make
Yeah.
them.
Well, there's so many people that are benefiting and profiting off of us, and we let it happen. We let that stuff happen. Okay. We look at what happened to hip hop music, right? In the 90s. Just look at what happened to our music in the 90s. Let's look at what happens to breakdancing and all that. Just look at what happened with this Australian lady that comes to to the Olympics. Like where she's breakdancing. Like what? That ain't breakdancing. Y'all remember that?
Oh yeah, I
We
remember
we,
that.
we have let we will let any and everybody who promises us or our community something, we give them the keys to the kingdom. They come in, they steal all of our stuff, they leave, they profit off of it, and we don't get nothing. I just watched the documentary on the A1. Y'all remember A1? I mean And1,
Yeah.
which
Oh
it was
yeah,
a
I
shoot,
remember
but it was
one. No,
also
I enjoy it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a movement. Watch that documentary. That documentary is an age old is a compilation of an age old principle that has happened to African American folk since the beginning of time. They come to you, they come into our community, they offer two or three people something to make them feel good, and then they'll turn around, they go back into our community and prostitute our community. And
And
then
this is why
we beat up, so they take our stuff and then we beat up on each other.
I'm saying this is why that the whole ICE thing. This is why I ain't speaking on that, because I'm like, man, y'all done did a lot of damage to us. So why do y'all really want us to come to y'all age, and y'all done did a lot of damage to us?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but see, we got so many people that don't read and don't study history, they don't even know that. They don't even know what you're talking about, if that makes sense. You follow what
Danger,
I'm saying?
danger. You got to get your background noise, danger. I got to keep muting
Is
you.
that what that is?
Yeah, that's danger. He got his background noise
Okay.
on.
I just heard a hiss. I was like, is it my headset or something?
No, that's him. That's him.
So the bottom line is until we can control our own narrative, respect and love our own people, respect and love and support our own institutions and our own businesses and our own stuff in our own communities, until we can do fundamentally those things, we are always going to be picked apart by other people for profitability. And that's what's happening in our community. Other people are profiting off of our narrative. Other people are controlling our narrative, right? And while they're controlling our narrative, we are fighting each other and not supporting one another. And so that just has to change.
Absolutely, I totally agree. She said, "If we
Yeah,
ever
she's right.
unify, it is a done deal." Absolutely,
It is.
absolutely.
And the truth be told, our black women are figuring it out. The group that needs to really get it is the black men.
They
If
said the
we can get
the black women is figuring it out.
oh man, they're always together. They'll huddle up. They'll huddle up in 5 seconds. You look up, they together. Well, actually, I've been watching on social media just lately, here lately, with what happened on July 4th. I've been watching how these groups and organizations that cater to young African American women, they're saying it online. Hey y'all, let's get together. Let's work together. Let's pull something together. Let's talk. Let's this, let's that. I have seen nothing from the men. I ain't seen nobody except for Unite for Change say, brothers, let's get together. I see an isolated thing over here, an isolated thing over there, an isolated thing back here, an isolated thing over there, but nobody talking about, hey brothers, let's get together. You follow? And let's not talk about denominations in the church. Let's not even talk about that.
Oh wait,
We can't get them together to save my life. Only thing they got in common is that they on the same street. After that, that's it. Until we can come together as a unit and respect the fact that I can believe what I believe and you can believe what you believe and I can live where I live and you can live where you live, and yet we can still come together to achieve a unified purpose. Until we come together on that, we're always going to get picked apart. And that's what's happening systematically. There's a playbook for how to take down a black community, and we lose every single time.
yeah, and thing is, I hear the conversations at work with a lot of different other countries that speak, and sometimes I really choose not to get in those conversations. I speak with certain individuals. I might speak with them on the phone outside of work, and I talk. I say, you know, the reason why I don't hop in those conversations because I've been telling the truth, and it's a word that I'm gonna use. It's called a tether. I'm like, some of them are tethers, and especially they tethering along to our community. And you know, I'll just say that, hey, we at a time now where we should not come to nobody's aid. We should work on us. So I totally agree with you and Kiana about we got to come together and be strong for ourselves. And really, we got to get some of these other people up out here, like the gas station folks, like for real. Maybe about a year and a half ago, I stopped patronizing them. Like I still patronize. Like if I really need gas and I can't get to an American gas station, I'll go ahead and go to theirs. But man, I done been played. I done been played around so many times. Like, come on, man, you charged me $5 for a $1 bag of chips. That didn't happen to me many times.
But now understand this too. Even with what you're saying there, they have utilized an infrastructure to build the capacity to go in and own or manage or run those establishments. Okay, we don't have the infrastructure to get into owning and running gas stations. That doesn't mean that we can't. However, if we are going to do that, we got to remember we have 1/7 of the wealth of the average white family. 1/7 of the wealth, right? Less than 3% of our businesses find angel investors to invest in our visions, right? Less than 3%, right? So when you look at the economic disadvantage that we have, it is very difficult for us to have a competing idea without saying, okay, look, I'm going to open up a grocery store. All right, let's talk about grocery stores, right? Food insecurity. Y'all remember Double A closed, Marshall's disappeared, Kroger's closed from over there on the east side of 46 and Arlington, right? The main grocery store is closed. And then here we come saying, okay, here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna open up a grocery store managed by 2 black men on the corner of 38th and Arlington. Right? Called the Fresh Market. Is that
closed?
Well, let's just be real. Those 2 black men that were managing that, are they still managing it? No.
They not?
Why? No, they're not. No. They've been moved to the side.
So who managing it now?
I think I know who it is, but I don't want to go on record trying to say who it is, but I think I know who's managing it now. But now here's the thing. It is not. Well, it was never black owned. They were supposed to transition to ownership over time. Okay, over time this was transition.
They poured the wool over eyes because I remember when it first came out, everybody was like, "It's black owned, y'all. Go ahead on and go down to 38th and Arlington to get you some produce, get you some meat."
Now, no, Tyron. What else were they saying? In addition to what you just said, what else were they saying? They were also, but they were also saying the prices are too high. They were also saying it's too far from my home. I can't go and patronize it. And here's why. I hate to say this, but this is just the truth.
They was complaining too much.
If we have issues with those foreigners who are running those gas stations, if we have issues with any other culture owning something that they're selling to the black community, you've got to also understand that because of the position that our community is in economically, it is very difficult for us to put a quote unquote black owned grocery store in the black community and survive. Why? Because we do not have the buying power or the economic support, right? We don't have the dollars available discretionary in order to ensure that the prices remain low enough to keep the patronage high enough to sustain what we need in our own communities. That's why the prices are higher. You get it? That's why the prices are higher. And our appetite is too rich. If you go into a Hispanic store, you're going to see Hispanic products. Are you hearing what I'm saying? They're not going to have Del Monte and Post and General Mills and all of this name brand stuff in a Hispanic store. They're going to have stuff that community understands from across the border.
Well, we got
our community
Ben's. We got Uncle Ben's. We got Gloria Greens. We got
Yes.
Aunt Jemima.
Aunt Jemima, Aunt Jemima is none of those are products. Those are not products that are going to fill the shelves. It would be nice. It would be nice if we did have products that could fill a grocery store, but we don't. And because we don't, we can't buy wholesale food to put into our grocery stores to keep the prices low. We have to buy from a middleman, and that
Yeah,
middleman charges us a surplus. And
yeah.
because of that surcharge, well, by the time we put our margin on it, the products are too high. Because when we go into the grocery store, we want name brand everything.
Now, isn't that the point of what the sitting president is trying to do with the tariffs? He's
No,
charging all
that
these
no,
people.
that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Now,
Oh,
that
okay.
will make that the tariff conversation, it is going to make your avocados more expensive. It's going to make your coffee beans more expensive. So it does have repercussions. But what I'm talking about is the simple fact that we can't have issues with other communities owning and building the capacity to run things in our community if we ourselves cannot are not in a position to own and run things in our community. And we can't run them because we want name brand everything. And name brand everything is going to cost you more than anything else. As long as our appetite is high, we're not going to be able to put a grocery store in our community. And I guarantee you, it will not be long before the fresh market, which started out to be a black-owned grocery store, ends up being bought by Hispanic market and being successful.
Wow. That's kind of what happened in Gary. We probably 20 years ago, we got a black grocery store in Gary, and within maybe a year or two, somebody it wasn't even white. It was the gas station people. They took over that grocery
Yep.
store.
And here's another thing. I hate to put this out here, but it's just true. The bottom line is this: who controls the distribution? Who controls the supply chain? When you deal with those Hispanic stores and Mexican stores and Latino stores, they control their distribution channel. They can call their uncles, their cousins, their parents, or whatever they call back in Mexico and say, hey, y'all ship me some of that salsa. Y'all ship me some of them pitas. Ship that stuff to me, right? And in that, they're controlling the supply chain. In our community, we don't control any supply chains. And as long as we don't control the supply chain, we always have to go to the man to get the stuff to put on our shelves. And the man is going to ensure that he gets his before you get yours. And as long as we don't control the supply chain, they always going to make money on whatever it is we trying to do. Because we don't control nothing.
And it is just, man, it's just bad. But go ahead, Danger. Can you talk, Danger?
I'm sort of down a little bit because I'm still trying to figure out how to work this telephone, and I've got this car that you can probably hear the tires running all in the background. Hey, but you're 100% correct there. If you take care of the one that's doing the distribution, then everything will be good. But
yeah, if
I
you
don't
got
know.
control of distribution, if you got control over it, but we don't. Back in back in hip hop days, when we were making the music and selling it out of the trunk, we were controlling the distribution. When we were selling it at the party, we were controlling distribution. As soon as we started signing these deals where CBS distributed, Island Records distributed, all these other people distributed, they basically were saying, okay, hip hop, I'm going to give you Profile Records, I'm going to give you Chocolate City, I'm going to give you Island Records, but your distribution remains with us. And that's how they make money off of us. They control our supply chain. What supply chain do we own unless we put it in our trunk and drive around the city and sell it from our trunk? We don't do that no more.
That is
They control it. Right? You had people that were selling products at Target. And when the black people said we ain't gonna buy from Target, Those folks were like, oh no, what are we going to do? Our products aren't going to be purchased inside Target. Everybody else was sitting back going, why are you complaining? Sell from your website. Own your own distribution, right? Ship your own products to your own customers. Stop using the white people system.
But
Use
Pastor
your own.
Pastor G, your Baptist ministers, they sign with Target.
Oh, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go. Don't
I'm
go there,
just
please.
saying. I'm just saying. You got Pastor Jamal out there. He was stomping hard, and then the Baptist ministers, they went on ahead and
I
signed
can't.
the contract with him.
Danger. I have no response to what happened with the National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated and those other four. I have nothing to say about that because I have no idea what anybody was thinking who made the decision to prostitute our community for $300,000. I have nothing for you.
So you stand behind Pastor Jamal.
Well, see, here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to act like the Target thing was just a Jamal Bryant thing because it wasn't. That call did not start with Bryant. It started in the black community, and he just picked it up and ran with it. And he wasn't
Yeah,
the only one
he
that was
trying to
running with
act
it.
like he the face. Pastor Jamal's trying
Yeah.
to act like he the face of it.
Well, to some degree, because he had the platform, he almost is the face of it. But it didn't start with him. So I'm not going to say I'm down with. I'm down with the a boycott of Target. I'm down with what it is accomplishing within our community, which is showing that we can come together and make an impact. I'm down with that. I'm not going to say I'm down with him because he wasn't the one that started that piece.
Go ahead, Danger.
Oh no, man, I was just listening, man, because I got my own opinion about good old Dr. Jamal, so I ain't gonna bother that, man. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
bother that.
And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I got my own issues and challenges there too. I'm not going to give him credit for that boycott because that's not where it started, right? The boycott still was able to accomplish some of the things that we wanted it to accomplish. Not all of them, because there's still some demands that have not been that we have not seen. But at the end of the day, I'm with the boycott. I am not with what the National Baptist Convention USA Incorporated did. I'm not with that at all.
Yeah, I don't know. When I first seen it, I said, wow, what was this? Was this like a, go against the Pastor Jamal? I'm gonna have to say his name. I was like, was it like go against him? Because yeah, he talked about it so strong and he was so hot about it until he was stomping strong. I say this though, is that I don't really shop at too many of them stores anyway. I don't do too much. I don't really barely do Amazon. Only store that you can say I shop at is Walmart, and that's just about all. But I'm with it if it's working. They said they had like a blackout day. They said, okay, on this day we're gonna black out. Ain't nobody gonna shop at Target. But I'm like, well, the next day all they gonna do is go the next day and buy everything that they weren't able to
And
buy
double
that
up.
day.
And double up. Yeah. Yeah. And again, I'll say this: as long as there are clear and definitive points that we are attempting to accomplish with whatever we do, I think as an African American in this country, we should be all for it, and we need to be unified and not selling out. As an organization, what I heard is the National Baptist Convention, those others did, I thought was a sellout. I felt like they sold, especially for the number $300,000 or 75,000 per organization. That's laughable. That is ridiculous what they did. One thing to do it, and another thing to do it for that low number was like, I mean, come at me with several $1 million, and then I might be like, oh, okay, I understand why you did it.
Yeah, that
But
was a low number.
300,000, man, I have nothing for you. I'm lost. I have nothing
Right,
for you.
right. Oh, okay. I see Minister Tony in the background. Pastor John, how much more time you got? I don't want to hold you long.
Oh man, I got to feed Dad in the back. Dad is back there needing to eat.
Okay, well, Pastor John, give us like some final words, and we're gonna let you get out of here.
Well, I guess the only thing I'm gonna, I gotta continue to push out is the symposium that's happening this weekend. We really, really are hoping that we get people to come out and hear and to learn more at the Brain Health Symposium. It is this Saturday at the Indiana Convention Center in Wabash Ballroom number 2. It starts, doors open at 11:30 a.m. The symposium starts at 12 noon. We have Holly Robinson Pete, if you remember her.
Oh yeah.
She's on the panel, and many of y'all know that she is an advocate of brain health and autism. We also have former NBA star Greg Oden, who,
Okay.
yeah, he is transparent about some of his mental health challenges as an athlete, and that's personal to me because my daughter is a sports psychologist. She works with athletes in the area of mental health. So that was kind of personal to me because athletes do have to deal with quite a bit. Then we also have the owner and co-CEO Family Community Partners. Dr. Dwight Holland is on the panel, and then the executive director of NAMI Indiana, Barbara Thompson. She'll be talking about some of the resources and whatnot that is available through NAMI Indiana. So it's going to be an outstanding event. It's been well planned. Our moderator is Sister Caroline Mays. If you know her, she's got a TV show on Wish TV 8. She's been around for a long time, but she
Oh
too
yeah,
will be
yeah.
sharing from her story about some things that she's had to deal with. Ultimately, I just want to make sure that there are people who recognize that whatever they're going through, they're not alone. Whatever they're facing, they're not by themselves. If they're feeling like there's challenges, there is help. There is help that they can get. You don't have to be diagnosed with schizophrenia. You don't have to be diagnosed with bipolar to have a bad day, a bad season, right? And even in your bad season, there's help. You can pray about it. Anybody saying don't pray, pray about it, but also seek help. And that's what we're doing on Saturday.
I appreciate it, Pastor John, and we're gonna play the promo again. We want people to go out and be a part. Go out and check this panel out because I
Yeah,
totally agree. Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Uh,
yeah.
when you're going through, talk to somebody. Danger, you got anything else for Pastor John before we get out of here?
Well, I just want to say like Natalie Cole, back down memory lane, something like that. No, it's good, man. It's good to see you, and you look like you're in good health, man. It's good to see you, because I know I go way back with Expo, man. Me and
Yeah.
no disrespect or dishonor, but I used to call him Skinny Legs. That's Glenn Howard. He loved his shorts. He loved to wear his shorts out there in the Expo. Glenn Howard, and all those guys, man, and God bless his whole soul. Chucky Bush, who was with Manchild, Babyface, before he got blowed out real famous, when they used to do the soul picnic all the time,
Yeah.
and yeah, I tell you, man, it's good to see you. And people, I mean, if you got problems, I mean, you ain't in the boat by yourself, because you're just
Yep.
one person, but there's somebody on the other side of the world, on the other side of the hand, that's going through the same problem. They just scared to speak up. Just
Mm-hmm.
like in the classroom, ain't no question a dumb question. Just put it out there and let the teacher take it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
Hey,
it.
take
Well,
care
all
of
right,
your
Pastor.
mama, man. Take care of your daddy, man. Take care of him, man.
All right,
That's it.
Pastor John. We
That.
appreciate you
Bless
coming
you, man.
on. Can't wait to have you back again.
Anytime, bro. Anytime.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a break because I see we got Minister Tony to beg. Kiki, if you still watching, go on and hit that link. Let me drop that link one more time. Let me drop the link one more time. Hit that link. We're gonna take a break, and really we're gonna play the promo that Pastor John sent me. Let me I gotta go find it. Hold on one second. Let me go find that promo real quick. Okay. There we go. We're gonna find this promo. We're gonna play this promo and we'll be right back. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. Do we have it? Okay, all right. Let me mute that right there. Okay, let's go on and share the screen. Get it set up the right way. There we go. All right.
Hey, everybody, this is Pastor G. And I need to tell y'all why I'm all in on events like next week's mental health it's personal. I've had to face my own battles with mental health, and I've watched the people I love, family, fighting for their lives, fighting for their sanity. I've seen them fall into the same cycles of verbal and physical violence, silence, and pain that swallows them up, it swallowed their parents up, and it swallowed their grandparents up. We all know about the whispers, the secrets, the heavy silence at the family reunions in churches and sitting in living rooms. We know about that. We know about the incest, the molestation, the emotional abuse. We see the people we love struggle with trauma, but nobody wants to speak. Nobody could muster the courage to break the chain. And now we see the results: sickness, anger, obesity, defiance, self-defeat. We see the depression, the addiction, the high blood pressure, literally the slow deaths. We see it. And we stay silent. We're willing to die protecting a silence that's killing us from the inside out. And one word could change it all: healing. So it's time to break out of your fear, to say what needs to be said, and to do what needs to be done. It's not easy. I know it ain't easy, but there's no time to protect people's comfort at the cost of your own freedom. You can stop dragging this dysfunction from one generation into the next. If you've had enough, if you know the next generation deserves better, I want to see you at the Cherish Your Mind Symposium next Saturday, July 19th from noon to 2 at the Indiana Convention Center, Wabash Ballroom number 2. Come learn, come hear from survivors, and get the help you need to move past the pain and turn it into purpose so you can free yourself, free your family, and free your future. I'll be there because I need it, and I hope you'll be there too. Now do me a favor. Share this video with somebody that you know needs to be there. And let's be a blessing to our community. This is Pastor G. Peace.
All right. Welcome back to the BZNZ Internet Talk Radio, where I am your gracious host, Tyrant Joe, man. And we just got through having a great conversation with Pastor John Girton, man, one of the pastors out here that is doing it. And like I said earlier, I mean, the ones that you see me bring onto my platform, they are the ones that's out here doing it. I mean, a lot of other people may, sit on the porch and talk, but I honestly say, hey, these pastors, they out here getting what they say, boots on the ground. Where them fans at? Where them fans at? Oh, hold on. Boots on the ground. Where them fans at? Come on. Oh yeah, we ain't hit that button in a minute. So they out there. They out there with the boots on the ground. So I got something I want to play real quick, and then after I play that, we're gonna hear from Danger, Minister Tony back there in the background. I don't know what Kiki doing. She need to hit that button. Want Kiki to hit that button. Hit that button, Kiki. You know what I'm saying? Don't be shy. Don't be scared. Hit that button. Let's see what we got over here.
That's how they operate. That is why the serpent came to Eve in the garden. The stories of the scriptures are meant to be as examples for brothers to learn from and always reflect on, because they reverberate down to this very day. But just getting back to the point, it states here that 51% of men act differently overall. I've stated in other videos, brothers should not be trying to have serious conversations with women in their workplace. I always stated when I was in corporate America, I do not have discussions on religion, politics, race, or feminism. I'm not concerned about those 4 topics. Do not try to include me in your silly low-level conversation on those topics within the workplace, because they almost always blow up in your face. And it's normally a woman who's going to decide to run to management or to human resources because she was quote unquote offended by something that someone said. So that's why the woman, unfortunately for them, they don't realize this. They're going to be viewed as an anathema, but covertly they're going to be viewed as an anathema in the workplace because of their attention mongering, because of the fact that there's such high risk and low reward. In general, the woman is not as proficient in the jobs that she seeks after in the corporate workspace as the average man is. A lot of people might not like that. It is what it is. And the same way, if a man tries to act as a nurturer and a guide in the household, he's not going to be as good as the average woman is.
Oh wait, man! Shout out to Chronicles of Judah 444, man. But I know you didn't think we was just gonna have a program and then speak nothing about dating and relationships. Come on, I know you couldn't have thought that, because that's what this program is primarily based about, is dating and relationships. Come on, how we handle our affairs. Fellas, that was a great comedian back in the 70s. His name was Flip Wilson. I don't know if that was his real name or not, but they called him Flip Wilson. And he said he on a show he did. He said, "Loose lips sink ships." And fellas, you're not getting away with this unscathed. It's a lot of you men out here that are so willing to try to get with a woman until you're gonna open up your mouth and tell everything. You willing to open up your mouth and talk about whatever. And the problem is a lot of men that's getting caught up in HR because they like to bring up certain conversations that bring out certain emotions in our women. Come on, they want to sit and talk about politics. They want to sit and gossip. They want to sit and talk about this, and you don't even realize how you are stirring up things in the woman. And now the woman, she done went to HR and told on you. Well, you know what, he said this about our president, and I love the president. Come on. This is why, fellas, as a man, we got to keep our mouths shut. Come on. This is why I tell certain ones, because it ain't too many I'm gonna have that conversation with anyway. Come on. But certain ones that I might be interested in at the job. Come on. Certain women that I might be interested in at the job, I say, you know what, if you really want my honest opinion about what's going on in the world, come on, you can either choose to dial this number and we can have this talk on the phone. Come on. Or you can just tap in on Thursday nights and you can see a little bit of what goes on. Come on. Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna like what I got to say anyway about what's going on in the world. You ain't gonna like it because it goes against everything that you've been taught. Because as a man, I'm not worried about what the president is doing. Come on, we're gonna really get it. We're gonna really get with it. I'm not worried about what the president is doing. Come on. Guess what I'm worried about? I'm worried about God. Come on. I'm worried about being able to live. I want to be able to live in land. I want to be able to live in the country. Come on. This city life is no more for me. Come on. Look, put me in an area where there's sheep. Come on. Pigs. Come on. Cows. Come on. Horses. Come on. Put me in an area where you got that. Come on. Put me in an area where you got to dig deep down to be able to have a good clean running water. Come on. Put me in an area where you ain't already got too much technology going on. Come on. Who cares about social media? Come on. Social media has ran its course with me. Come on. I want to be able to go outside and know what it feels like to enjoy the sun. Come on. I want to be in the grid. I want to be in the vineyard. Come on. I want to be in the garden. Come on. Ain't that where Eve and Adam was? They was out there in the garden getting it in. That's what I'm worried about. I ain't worried about nothing else going on in this world. Put me in a field where I can pick tomatoes, apples, oranges. Come on now, we in there in the garden getting it in, enjoying God's green earth and His nature. That's where I'm at. Anywho, let's bring in the men. See what the men's got to say. The fellas. See, I don't see King Dwayne. He probably knocked out sleep. But all right, fellas. What's going on, y'all? You muted, Tony.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
What's going on?
Oh, good. You talking about the discussions with women at the workplace.
Yeah.
I would limit those discussions to things that are not offensive to the point that she can go to HR. If I don't like the president, she do. That's an opinion. That's not something HR is going to care about. But
You would be amazed at what some of these women go to
no,
HR about.
I say I don't care what she go to HR about. If she go to HR and say I offend her because I said the president is wrong, and she's offended by that, that's not a reasonable offense. So therefore, they throw that out. Now, if I say,
Okay.
"Girl, you look that dress looking tight on you, it's hugging all those curves,"
Yeah, you
she
gotta
may be
watch it.
offended by that.
Yeah.
So that is something HR would look into.
Mm-hmm.
But my opinion on politics, that's not something that's a reasonable offense. That's just something you can disagree about. But with that being said, before I enter a conversation with a woman or anybody else about politics or religion or anything like that, I'm going to be invited in. I'm not going to just step in with it.
You gonna be what?
I would have to be invited into it. You have to ask me what I think about it. I'm not
Right.
just going to throw it out there at you.
Right.
If you talking about well, the president is doing this and it's the worst thing in the world, and or I love what the president is doing, he's doing this, that, and the other, and you don't say, Tony, what you think about it, then Tony don't got an opinion.
Yeah, that's the same as me. Hey, I got a coworker. God bless his heart. He, that man, he a kind-hearted man. He give you the shirt off his back, but he like, to have those conversations with some of the ladies. And sometimes I'll just sit back and watch because I'm like, I know I'm not gonna put my opinion in there because
Yeah.
I know you ain't gonna like it. I know you're not gonna like it. And the thing is, it's not. I get what you're saying about politics. It's not just that. It's sometimes what happens after that because I have been in the midst of conversation. I wasn't the one speaking, but I watched conversations, get kind of rowdy to where we had to break stuff up. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, so people get real emotional about things, and then you start hearing insults. People start calling folks names, and now we at work, and we got to be like,
Yeah.
all right, y'all, we
Now
got to
that
y'all,
that's
chill
a
out.
I agree. That's a whole nother category.
Yeah,
And
and then
if I see
that's
that
when
coming, I'm
HR
just gonna
really get
back out.
involved
I'll bow
in.
out real fast.
Say what?
I would bow out real fast. If I say I don't like the president's policies and you get
Yeah,
mad like, well, you stupid. You should well, here's the goal. If I come back at you, I'm gonna be the one to get in trouble. So I'm gonna walk away from this right now.
yeah, most definitely. That's why. I mean, but I learned that lesson years ago. I don't hardly get in that, but I have a few women, a few young ladies that try to ask me, "What you think about this? What you think about that?" I'm like, "You gonna have to dial the number. You gonna have to dial the number if you want to know what I think." I'm like, I ain't talking about it at work. Dial the number. A lot of them they scared to dial that number too. I'm like, don't be scared. Don't be scared. I'll be like, if you bold enough to ask me at work, you dial that number, you gonna get a whole nother reality.
Yep. And that's the thing. Because now you call me at home or you call me like on the line like this. Whatever discussion you want to have is open now because you you ain't getting me fired because I disagree with you or because my views to you may be sexist.
Absolutely. Where's Evangelist Katrina at? I told you to hit up Evangelist Katrina. I'm out.
Oh, you know what? Let me send out this.
It might be too late now. Evangelist, is she still woke?
You know, I don't know because she do be up later than you would think.
Oh, okay. Well,
But see, I would have been on
we hear
earlier, but
from
I saw the
Danger.
text.
I
Yeah,
know Danger
boss.
be
What's up?
at work talking to the ladies about politics. I know he do.
No, they basically be asking me when is they turn, and I just let them know, baby, just stand in line and wait.
When is they turn for Wayne?
Well, you have to service the community, man. It's all about keeping the community happy.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, you know what Flip Wilson said: "Loose lips sink ships. The ones on your face as
And
well as the ones below the waist." You
and
already know.
also, the devil made me do it. Whoa!
Right, right, right. Exactly.
Hey man, you
Blame
got
it
a
on the
good
devil.
program rolling through, man. You got a nice little program rolling through. It was good. I like the way I like the way Dr. Girton was putting that out there, man, and that's 100% the way it should be.
Oh yeah,
A lot of
Doc Gerd, he was spitting,
yeah, a lot of our chocolate people, man. A lot of our chocolate people in power positions, they don't like to be transparent, man. They like to, you know, throw rocks at a glass house.
Yeah, that's why I don't go to a lot of those meetings, the panel discussions they be having. Like, it's one of them I really want to go to, the NAACP. They having a panel discussion, but it ain't even, it's gonna be like an hour and 15 minutes. I'm like, that's not long enough for a panel discussion. If you're gonna have a room full of black folks in there that's gonna want to talk, they're gonna want to voice their opinion, they're gonna want to ask questions, that's not enough.
And the reason why they got it short like that is because they are anticipating somebody gonna come up with a couple of hard questions that's gonna question and jeopardize their position that they in. But if you want to talk to them about becoming a member, oh yeah, they got all day to talk to you about that.
Yeah, it's it kind of remind me of when we used to have our safety meetings. Do you remember that, D? When we have our safety meetings and Charlie Brown, you know who that is?
Yeah.
He come up and
Charlie
speak,
Brown.
and then he say, he say 2 questions. And it's about 100 people in the room, but he'll say 2 questions. Come on, man. You owe the people more than just 2 questions.
And then if you drop the first question, if he start turning red on the first question, the second question he out of there.
He leave right after that. I remember that all. I'm like, man, what's up with this dude, man? Every time he come, he give his overall speech, and then he say 2 questions. Or sometimes he might say 1 because he's I'm running out of time, and then he just take off. I'm like, man, that's some little weak. That's some weak stuff, dude.
Well, a lot of those executives are like that. They want to just hit you, but don't you hit me back. That crazy stuff like that.
Weak, yeah. That's why a lot of them won't even come on in and do the a lot of them won't even come on in and do the interview, the podcast, because they don't want to be hit with the tough questions. And see, over here at BZNZ, we about being real. That's why I said about with certain people want to have conversation with me concerning ICE. You don't want to have that conversation with me because I have seen a lot from the Latino community and how they done dogged and disrespect black people. Now you want us to come to your aid. Not me. I'm gonna mind my business. So you don't want to have that conversation with me. Man, my business.
Yeah, you right, boss.
I'm sorry, I keep muting myself when I'm talking to my sister.
What's up?
Did Katrina get on yet?
No, I ain't seen no Katrina.
Okay.
Katrina, if you want, put something in the chat.
I don't know if she on or not. She didn't text back or anything.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying we gotta be real, and I'm saying I ain't no dummy. I'm not a dummy. A lot of our people, when a lot of our people go over to their countries, they don't treat us the same way we treat them. As far as we talking about hospitality, no. Like I know guys that went to Thailand. If you don't have your American, if you don't have your papers on there, your visa papers on, because they can ask you at any time. Let me see your passport. If you ain't got that, you go straight to jail. Hello. They take you straight to jail, and sometimes a lot of people say they trip to Thailand, they got cut short because they left their passport in the hotel because they said they was going to the pool, they didn't want to get it wet, and they was out there, and the Thailand police, hey, I need to see your papers. Didn't have them. All right, you going to jail.
See, I don't know how that worked, but I don't see myself going to Thailand anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like a lot of the treatment that they give specifically to African Americans. We're not talking about white because they say they treat white people kind of different when they go to them different countries. But African Americans, I have heard how they have been treated by different countries. and now they here in America and they want us to come to their aid. I'm like, well, what do you want us to do? What tell Donald Trump to stop the ICE raids? I mean, wait, I don't have control over it.
They wouldn't come to our aid.
Say it again.
They wouldn't come to our aid. If that was
Absolutely.
happening to us over here, they wouldn't come and help.
No, they wouldn't come to our aid. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I got a lot of. Wait, say what? I can't hear you.
Now I'm gonna tell you, man. But you know what? Some of them that are over here, maybe if it was individualized. But as far as a whole, no, I ain't thinking about the group. Now, the Hispanics, I might want to come to their aid because they might help us in the fight.
I mean, hey, I'd say this. Like, now the people that's actually over here, legal and they doing good work. Hey, I have no problem with you. But there's other individuals over here that's sucking up the culture. That's being a vulture, and then want to talk down on us. That's bad. That's a problem. You coming over here getting all the resources and all this, you getting the money and all that, then you go back and talk trash.
Do you think a president should be able to make a law and be immune to it?
What law? What law you talking about?
Okay, for instance, President Trump, he wants to cancel out birthright citizenship. He wants to send people out of the country that came here on a visa. He wants to send people out of the country that came here on anything other than, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Now,
that's ridiculous.
The problem is his family, from his son and his wife's family. Don't all of them supposed to be deported right now?
Yeah, all of them supposed to be up out of here. So he talking about his own self then. Like, well, you trying to get yourself up out of here.
Why should his family be immune and everybody else have to suffer?
No. If no president, if you want everybody to suffer, you got to suffer too, president.
Right.
It ain't gonna happen.
If it's a law, he should not be immune to it, because the moment he makes himself immune to it, it should be a statute right there that any person gets immunity from that law if they're married.
Did you not hear what did you not hear what you people's United States Supreme Court said about Donald Trump about 3 or 4 months ago?
No,
what they say?
He has autonomy power. I mean, he can make any decision he wants to, because the lawyer that argued in front of the Supreme Court convinced the conservative majority that everything he do while he's president is legal and it's in the best interest of the country.
Yes. Well, the thing is, but
this ain't no democracy.
They didn't give him total autonomy because the judges stopped some stuff that he did that was against the Constitution. But what they're saying is, you can call it illegal, but while he's the president, it's not illegal. You can't arrest him for it. That's what they're trying to say. You can't arrest it. He has, basically, I have full immunity as president, and that's not the truth. That's not the way it's supposed to be. But they're saying that like he has full immunity. He can break every law, and nobody can do anything to him. But the reality is, the way that law goes is, if a president commits a crime before coming into office and he has not been prosecuted for it, you cannot prosecute him for it while he's in office. And if the statute of limitations reached after he's in office, too bad, you just lost out. You don't get to charge him for it. But any crimes he commit in office or after he get out, he's supposed to answer for them. That's why they have impeachment. That's what impeachment is: a president committing a crime while in office. But they are not impeached. They're not holding them accountable.
Mm-hmm.
They're not allowing him that space to do anything he wants to. They can revoke it as some say it's not legal, but the thing is already done. And once it's already done, they're saying, well, you can't take it back and you can't arrest him for it. You can't hold him accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the way the law. If
That's not the way.
that was the case, Nixon would have never been taken out of office. If that was the case, Clinton and Trump, neither one of them would have had to face a trial to be found not guilty. But they changing laws for him, and that's what's aggravating.
What up, Kiki?
Who that just got on?
Kiki.
Oh, that's
Hey.
looking like a supermodel.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for the
Oh,
compliment.
you don't have to thank me, Q. You don't have to thank me, Q. You don't have to thank me.
Nah,
Hey,
don't take credit for my
You know,
compliment.
you know that was coming
Danger, don't be
anyway.
taking credit for my compliment.
Cuz this is cuz this is not Dateline. This is not Dateline, cuz this is BZNZ.
Mhm.
I'll take door number 3. Hey, what's up, Q?
hey, everybody. How y'all doing?
We good.
That's good. That's
What
good.
don't BNZ stand for beautiful, intelligent Nubian sisters with a
Look,
Z?
look at this.
Is that what it
Look at
is?
this. Look at this.
I like that. That's nice, though.
You want me to get a number for you, cuz? I can get a number for you.
Already got it.
You
Already got it.
can't.
Oh, he said he
Already
already
got
got
it,
it.
man.
Who got it?
Yeah.
Danger said that.
Mr. D
Oh,
is not
Danger
telling
said.
the truth. He does not have contact to me.
Hey, baby girl, don't you know that Google will give you anything you ask for?
I do know that much. I'm just saying it wasn't handed.
I don't know. This is handwritten right here. This piece of paper I'm looking at is handwritten. You mean Google to start writing out notes on the papers? I mean, my goodness.
Mr. D. Mr. D, stop.
Well,
Well, how
What's
y'all
on
doing?
your mind? What's on your mind
problem
tonight,
is
Q?
I wouldn't ask for a phone number because for one, I ain't really into the long distance thing anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, she know how to move. She got feet. She can move.
Well, you know what? I think I'd be more inclined to move than she would.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Hey,
Well,
it'll be great to have you down in Indianapolis, cuz. I love to have you down there. Welcome to the city, to the Circle City.
the only thing is I'm taking.
Well, see that
Well,
just
that's
ended.
okay.
Okay, I got to cancel my bus ticket now.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you ain't taking the Greyhound. Not the Greyhound. Not the
Hey,
Greyhound.
Q, cut
Oh,
that out
no.
now. I know you done heard that song by Dimple Fields.
Well,
I
what
know
song
you
is
know
that?
that song. She know that song. Go on, sing it, Q.
What song is that, Mr. D?
You know the one you used to dance to, the one that said married women need loving too.
I can't contribute to that. I can't contribute to that.
Hey, well, see, it's on the flip side of the song he made that said she got papers on me.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot.
So you in a relationship now, Kiki. How long you been
Oh, tell him don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. I didn't mean it. Don't shoot me. I didn't mean it. Because if you shoot me, who gonna clean up the blood?
It's been that way for a while.
What's been that way?
What
In a
you mean?
relationship,
Wow.
I just don't talk about my personal life.
I ain't asking about your
It ain't
personal
nothing
life.
wrong with saying you in a relationship.
No, it's nothing wrong with that. That's not what I mean. But we're not on here to talk about that. We talk about issues, concerns, and all that. So I don't.
That is an issue.
You know what?
Ain't that an
Here's
issue,
the
T?
issue I got with that. You do not
Ain't
mess around with a married woman.
Wait, hold on.
What goes around comes around.
What you say, Tony? Go ahead, Tony.
You don't mess around with a married woman, and what goes around comes around. You go mess around with a married woman. You look when you get married, your wife be messing around with somebody.
Absolutely. I don't know. I don't do the I don't do
Hey,
the
that's why. I guess y'all don't never listen to any secular music, do you?
I listen to plenty.
I do.
Because I ain't no wrong. Johnny Taylor put out a song called Backdoor Shotty.
What about that song that talk about?
That was for certain women, though. I'm loyal.
What about the one when he talked about?
Did she say she got baby oil?
That is not what I said. I didn't say nothing about no baby oil.
What about the one where the single met his wife at the hotel because he was cheating too? Both of them was at the hotel with somebody else.
Well, it's like Bobby Womack said, I wish you didn't trust me so much.
Wait.
Oh, man, stop it, boy.
That's how Al Green got the name Grits.
Right.
Yeah, his big old self is having trouble singing now as big as he is. He got to be about 400 pounds now. I see my man doing a concert, man, and he tried to hit that note he hit back in the 70s, and his throat said, "I'll quit playing."
Yeah, can't do all that no more.
Nah, I'm a dedicated man myself.
Is that
I
right?
agree with you. I agree with you being loyal, Q, and I'm a dedicated man to myself, and I want the whole world to know I'm dedicated to every woman that everybody see.
Oh no! Look who we got. We got Doctor Katrina Sanders. You a doctor?
Human services profession.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, everybody, let's greet Dr. Katrina. How are you?
I'm well in yourself. Hello, everyone. I just got the message from Minister Tony. I'm like, wait a minute. What?
Yeah, come join the party tonight. We just kicking it right now. We had a program earlier with Pastor John Girton just talking about politics and things that's going on here in Indianapolis. But right now we just all sitting there just chit chat before we get up out of here, talking about whatever. Everything going all right this week, Evangelist Katrina?
Yes, everything's going well. Thank you for asking.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm glad to have you on because ladies and gentlemen, I met Evangelist Katrina on my cousin Minister Tony's prayer line that he does every Saturday evening. We're here in Indianapolis, 5 o'clock. There in Illinois, 4 o'clock, and the past few weeks we've been talking about dating and relationships, and it has really been good. I mean, because normally we only normally go 45 minutes to an hour, but we have been going about 2 hours and more, just having a great conversation. I mean, we starting off with prayer, we got scripture, we expounding on the scripture, and then we just busting out talking about dating and relationships. And I mean, it's been amazing. So, and I say, you know what, I enjoy listening to some of the words of Evangelist Katrina, and I said we got to have Evangelist Katrina come on and talk to some of our people. We got Evangelist Katrina come on and talk to some of our ladies, because we need the older ladies to get these younger ladies, together. That's all.
Yeah,
That's all
I
I got.
just I just was talking to one of my friends as well. And he was blown by some things that I had shared with him about, you know, those sexual lust spirits that people be having. They go
Oh
from
yeah.
one place to call it monkey swinging. They call it monkey swinging. And he was
Uh-oh.
like, I never heard of that. I said, yeah. I said, when you lay down with somebody and then you lay down with somebody else, you're contracting their spirits and whoever else they slept with, and then whoever else they slept with. So you got all these, bottle of spirits that's gonna insert into you, and then you walking around here like you don't know what's going on.
Come on, you teaching. You teaching. You
He
teaching.
was like, I didn't realize that. I said, yeah. I said, that's why you gotta get people out your system. You can't enter into a union with somebody and you just got through bed, headboarding somebody 5 or 6 times, different ones, because all of who they dealt with, their spirits are all in there. And I told him to make it cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And so he was like, what? He didn't know. He almost 50 years old. He didn't know. He did not know.
I got a
He didn't
question
know.
for you, Evangelist Katrina, because
Uh-huh.
this right here blows some people's minds. Okay, well, what you talking about as far as all those spirits being compacted together? Did you know that a woman, that had been around, she done got around? Do you know that, if she have a baby, her baby could look like the first Negro that she was with, and not the man that she actually had the baby with?
The one she was in love with.
Right, like let's say the lady, she might be married right now. Her and her
Mm-hmm.
husband, they have a baby. That baby come
Mm-hmm.
out, may not even look like the father. It might look like one of the men that she had sex with in the past, because all that DNA is wrapped up inside of her.
Lord help us, Jesus.
Is that true?
Yeah, the probability of that is true. And then you also have that moment where the woman was really in love with that man, and that child looked just like that man.
Facts.
Okay, so wait, because I have a question then.
Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
So So is it when the woman is in love with the man, or just the first or second or prior person that she was with? How does that work?
If you really, the man that I'm just example, if I was in love with this man, I'm just as an example, and everything about him that I love, not what he does and all that, it's the person whom he is, and you with him, the possibility of that baby coming forth gonna look just like that boy, that man you was with. You get it?
I also believe it. Sometimes it's.
That's true.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were done.
Oh, go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Okay, so I also believe sometimes it's the man that you hate the most.
Oh,
that is so true. That is so true. Okay,
no wonder
Q.
why his kids around that look like me.
Okay, Q. Now,
what?
You don't have to whoop yourself, because you was 100% correct with that. A woman can hate a person so bad till that baby come out looking like a Siamese twins, exactly lacking.
So, Danger, you got a lot of kids out there that look like you.
Hey man, I ain't the type of guy to spill the oats, man. But I promise you, man, them 7,000 kids is mine. I ain't mine. They not
I
mine.
believe it's some kids out there that look like me too. It's a couple kids I just seen. I had to like, wait, hold on, who is your mama?
Well, wait a minute.
Well, you know what? I got they call me daddy. But I got company, so I can't stay on this line. But yeah, I think I did make my wife mad a lot. That's why my kids look like me.
I believe that.
Who you got Marche up there in the house?
No, I got Juanita and Elaine.
Hey, cousins.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Tyra.
What up, cousins?
Oh, ain't nothing up. How everything been going with you?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Messed up. I can't walk what you doing. Everything okay?
Yeah. Okay.
No, everything ain't fine. Juanita just messed up when she dealt me a good hand.
Well, all right, cousin Tony. I'm gonna let you go ahead and go. We're gonna finish chopping it up.
All right.
All right.
Lord will, I'll be on there with you next week.
Okay, cool.
All right. Oh, and I guess we'll get together Saturday too.
Yes, sir.
All right. Love y'all.
All right, now love you too. Finish chopping it up
Where
with
them fans at?
Say what?
Where them fans at? Got my boots on the ground.
Yeah. Where them fans at? Yeah, where they at?
Oh man. No, but
somebody whipped out a Pepsi. Somebody whipped out a Pepsi.
Where's her statement at? Where's the statement at? Did you have written permission to drink that Pepsi?
Not this time.
Hey, T, let her know, man. Let her know about the 300-year-old rule. Let her know.
What I gotta do?
Well,
I gotta let Mr. D know.
It's PG-13 and it's PG-13. You can't drink a Pepsi on this program without express written consent of the 300-year-old man. Tell her, T. Tell her how it works, man.
I mean, we do call him. I call him Bishop Pepsi. That's what I call him.
Okay, but I already had. He already gave me permission, though.
Say what?
He already gave me permission, though.
He did?
Oh.
Yes.
I think
300 years ago. 300 years ago.
Oh, man. Boy, yeah, it's Alzheimer's kicking in, man. I got to figure out what's going on, man. It's Alzheimer's kicking in.
Oh, wait. Well, anywho, we ain't gonna hold long. Did the ladies have anything else to say tonight?
I'm good.
You good?
No, what do you want?
Whoa, wait a minute.
I didn't know if you were done. I didn't know if we were talking more or what are we doing?
We was just chopping it up, but I mean, I'm just saying the floor is y'all. If y'all got something y'all want to talk about.
I want to hear Miss Lady, Evangelist. I want to hear her. I've never met her personally, so I just,
You You said you want to evangelist Katrina.
I know you said she talks about relationships. I do too. So
Yeah,
I
she did
wanted to.
on our prayer line. She gave out great advice because it's a lot of, for real, I'm gonna say this, a lot of women, a lot of young women out here that they're not getting the training and the instructions that they need to be getting from their fathers. I'm just gonna make it plain. Their
Okay.
fathers is not teaching them, and so what they
Liz, you
do,
got a
they
rag
get
on?
they
Almost
receive
11.
stuff from. All right, I'm about to mute you, Danger. What they do, they receive stuff from, they mom, and they live off their mom, not being offensive, but mom, she dealing around with men that ain't no good. So she talking about how no good these men are. They picking up the character traits from mom. When we know that father, when the father is the one that's supposed to be like, all right, baby girl, this is how you do this. All right, son, this is how you do this. He's that instruction. He's that voice that is supposed to teach the children how they deal with relationships. And so I just enjoy listening to Evangelist Katrina talk about certain things, because she talk about how she talked to her kids and how she's instructed them, in their adult ages. So
Is
that's
he
all.
the only instruction?
Say it again.
Is he the only instruction?
Who is he?
Meaning the father. Is the
I ain't gonna
father
say
the
the
only
only.
instruction?
I won't say the only, but I'm gonna say that the man that's full time in his kid's life, he is that one that should to teach them how to be women, how to be men. And no, I think is, as far as the mother, let's get on the mothers. Let's get on the mothers. I look, let me have children. Let me have girls. I want them to learn all the feminine. I want they mom to teach them all that. But the stuff that they don't understand, like I know a young lady, she don't understand that when you come into the company of men, sometimes you gotta quiet down. You can't just interrupt the man while he's having a conversation. She learned the hard way. It wasn't me having the conversation. I'm sitting back watching. And she came in, interrupted the conversation that her husband was having, and her husband told her, "You don't interrupt a conversation with men." But this is stuff that you learn from your daddy. Hello.
I think there's some things you can learn from experience as well. But
Absolutely.
I solely think that, really, to be honest, the soul connection is God. You have to be connected with God. You have to build that relationship with God, because God will show you what it is that you need to do and how you need to move. And sometimes we are disobedient to the voice and the action of it. And you can be better. I'm not saying that children don't need mother and father, but there are so many situations where in our households, in the Black community, that sometimes that just doesn't happen. But that does not mean that we have to lose the mom in it. That means even with that, you gain wisdom as a mother and connect yourself to the father. And the father is the father of all. And so you have to have, God will give you wisdom. God will give you whatever you ask for, God will give you. However, you have to adhere to that and have to adhere to it so that you're following the pieces. But I just, sometimes that's just not your situation to have both parents. I've been very blessed to have both of mine, but that's not my life now. Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a great thing to have that. But sometimes that's just not what it is. But don't be discouraged in doing it. Connect to the Father.
Thing is, I didn't have both of mine, but I do understand the importance of both roles. Like
I
there's a
get
young
it.
lady I know. Matter of fact, we spoke about it last week. She said that she don't want to have a baby with a man. She want to do the sperm bank. But the thing
Right.
is, though, this young lady had both her parents in the house, and she said she
Right.
still do. She's what you call a daddy's girl. And that's why I'm like, man, what do your father think about this? She talking about he don't care. He just want grandkids. I didn't say this to her, but I'm gonna say this now. I don't know if she watching this program. I never told her about it, but I'm gonna say somewhere dad dropped the ball. Cause I tell you this, let me have a child, and they say, "Oh, I want a sperm bank." Boy, I'm about to be all over your behind. Like, no, I don't co-sign that at all.
But
That's what
there's
I don't co-sign that. So
the
you
only
go out
thing
there.
with that, Tyron, is that sometimes people deal with trauma and you never know what their trauma is. And sometimes you can have both parents in the home and you be better without both of them in the home.
I got something else for
People
you.
live different lives and you don't know what is going on in people's homes. So you can have two parents and still not have two parents. You can have them physically there, but mentally they are not. So you can still say, that's why I'm saying you have to grasp a hold to the connection of God, because God will show you how to do, what to do, when to do, and how to do it. And you have to be okay with that. You can't stop what happens. And then sometimes you deal with situations where people don't want to be in the home. People don't want to deal with you. You can't drop the ball. You got to keep it pushing and keep it moving, because my child could never lose just because you don't want to. I have to keep it pushing and keep it moving. I think it's just so much that happens with us. But I think that soul connection is God, and that's just what I believe. That's just me, though.
I got one more for you. I believe that people attract who they are. I've had many people talk about, oh, this person did that, and then you sit back and you observe them like, well, you do the same thing. I'm like, so it looked like the stuff that you don't like, you bring that to you with these people. So it looked like you might be the problem. I'm just saying,
I
I know
think
I know plenty people, that be talking about, man, why is all this bad stuff happening to me? I'm like, well, you doing it yourself. You cussing people out, you robbing folks, and then it happened to you. You don't know why it's happening. Come on, we got the math not mathing.
well, you got to be accountable too. And what you'll find is that most people in this world through society is not accountable for their actions.
No, not
That's
at all.
why I always question why we expect for our children to be accountable when they never seen adults or leadership be accountable. That will not work for these children. They have to see what you do.
Absolutely.
They're not going to be accountable for their actions if they don't see a grown adult be accountable for theirs. If they don't see their parents being accountable for their actions, we are just right now. I mean, we could be winning, but we're losing. But we can gain everything back. Figure out the right way to do it.
Evangelist Katrina.
If I may, if I may, let's go back to the beginning. The beginning is God created man. He pulled rib to make woman. From there, they replenished the earth with three children, Cain, Abel, and Seth. That's the idea family. That's the idea. The idea.
Mhm.
You will have a lot of families that might have come through that part, but something threw them off board, threw them off kilter. My former husband that I was married to for 12 years, he wasn't raised by his mother. He was raised by his sister. His mother was in their life, but the way that his sister taught was totally different than what a mother would implement, because there are some things a mother would give to her daughter and some things that she would give to her son. Now, she can't tell him how a man should feel because she's not a man, but she can give him the other part of what a mother would say. Son, when you meet these kind of women, you got to be careful. And a
Come on.
man going to tell you about that woman. He'll
Come
tell
on.
you about that woman. So they both work together. The thing about it, he never knew how to coincide, because I come from Southern upbringing and city upbringing. And so, but in my domain, we were taught how to stay in our place. We were
Mhm.
taught how to be women. We were taught how to take care of ourselves. They taught us the basics, how to sew, how to cook. We learned how to do those things. But with him, It was, oh, well, we're all free. We could be like this and all that kind of stuff. No, 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 you can't be all free and like that. There's some discipline that has to be given because the Bible says
Come on.
for us to train our the child in the way they should go. And when they get older, they will not depart from it.
Right.
And foolishness is always bound up in the heart of a child because it's when that child they gonna do foolish stuff. But that's where the parents come in and discipline. Now, when you
Yes.
talk about divorce, when you co-parent, a friend of mine right now is going through, and he wasn't even married to the child's mama, but he's going through a situation where the judge is literally telling him, well, I believe you should have the space to see your child on this day, that day, but not here, and split. Then told him that if you 15 minutes late, you forfeit the next time you want to see your child.
Wow.
But yeah,
Wow.
I'm serious. But and my former husband told me, I don't agree with what your mother did, but what your mother would say. Well, because you lost that leverage of getting what you're supposed to get from your mother and your father. But were they examples? They were examples in the unit of no one leaving the house, but they clashed a lot. I did not like the fact that my former mother-in-law would call my former father-in-law a stupid, no good, blind bat, son of a so-and-so, yada, yada, yada. But guess what? That yada, yada, yada paid the house off, paid the house off for you to have in case of his demise. So you got a lot of families that have their own theory, and their theory is not lining up with the word, as the young lady was saying. It's not in the word. Now, I know that everybody's not going to be saved with sanctified filled with the Holy Ghost. I know that. But you have some moral good sense to know how you're going to rear your children. When I worked in case management, the first thing I heard a judge say, and it was many years, he said, where's the belt at? Nobody use the belt no more?
Uh-huh.
I said, the judge said that. And I'm like, so corporal punishment is, because DCFS said if you beat your child, you're going to jail. No, the Bible
Yeah.
says a rod of correction would drive the foolishness out. The rod meaning they're going to, when they do foolish stuff, you got to discipline them. But parents should come together, not arguing in front of the children, not profaning one another and disrespecting, because kids are going to do what? They're going to pull from both parents to fight to get what they
Right.
want to get. Daddy,
Right.
mama said, but I think, or mama or daddy said, they'll play the parents against each other.
They will.
That's where you sit those children down and you let them know you do not play him or me. You let them know that, and you throw it with authority. And it's not being abusive, because those kids know I'm not going to play this game. They may try to attempt little bit by little bit. But each of them, a man has to affirm his son. One of the greatest things that I've seen happen with boys, especially in the church, our dads are preachers, bishops, whatever, and they don't affirm their own sons. And their
Mm.
sons go off stray, trying to find where to fit in at. Daughters need their fathers where they could be able to say, you don't want Pookie, you don't want Roscoe, and you don't want Leroy. These are the kind of men you don't want to mess with. And explain to them that these are street rats and you got church mouse. Church mouses don't really know street rat game, but they'll try to play it, but they don't know how to master it because they've been on the street. So you, you got it. You name a church man that's been in the church all his life. Yeah, he may try to whore around with the girls, but he can't whore right because the guys in the street know the game. But in there, what do boys do in the church? Sister, you ought to know this by now. You know this. Oh, I think it's my baby. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, she told me she like Roy.
Come
And
on.
need a girl. It will not be accountable. Okay. We all know our flesh is weak. And we
Mm.
know that we gotta die daily and
Right.
put it under subjection because it gets us in
Yeah.
trouble. But if you
Everyday
lay
battle.
down with a lady, have enough nerve and say, listen, okay, yes, me and her, we kicked it. And yes, we had a moment, but that is my child. Now, if you're a married man and you commit adultery, now you got a whole other problem because guess what? There's going to be a battle
Ooh-wee.
between that baby mama and that wife because
Ooh-wee.
she going to feel, I laid up with your husband. I gave my baby too. Sarah and Hagar's story.
Mm.
Somebody had to go. There wasn't going to be no two. You can't get no two queens in the house. So it depends on the type of family that
Right.
lays down the law, whether you're in the church or whether you moral. Because boys, I have 5 boys. Trust me, they need their father. I'm just saying, a boy needs his father to be able to build him to be what he needs to be. And see, mother would come in with a little sidebar and say, you know what, your daddy is right, but let me add on to it. That's how you use your words. I'm going to add on to what your daddy told you. Because when you mess with Boo Boo Kitty, and this is the frog here, and y'all got a problem, you're going to create an issue. And you sit down together and you explain some things, because there are things that a father can tell a son, you're going to have these hormonal problems. You're going to see a girl, and every time you get a girl, you're going to have nature going to rise. Mother going to tell you, you don't want that nature to go too far. There's a way. But I think that we're suffering from the teaching because we don't want to be honest with our own selves. Everybody has come from dysfunctional families. Everybody came from a perfect family. I mean, I need to be a part of a perfect family. I need to find one. But we got to be honest and have open discussions.
Yes.
Periodically. Yes, we go to church to get the word. Yes, we go to church to become saved. But we ought to have some time. Like now I'm seeing the men in churches are having men caves now. But guess what they're talking about in men cave? They're talking about men things that the church never talk about.
Right.
Right.
Because boys are lost.
Right.
They're lost. You know?
Evangelist Katrina, yeah, we had Pastor John on earlier, and what he was talking about this weekend, we got the Indiana Black Expo, and he's going to be a part of a panel, I believe, where they're talking about mental health, because that mental health thing in the Black community is running strong. And he said, just even having a conversation with somebody. I'm not saying just go to a therapist, but have a conversation, because some of the stuff that we dealing with is so heavy till you got people coming up to you talking crazy and all this, and they don't even know that they could breathe their last breath by walking up talking crazy to you like that.
Well, you know what, Tyron? Really quick, when it comes to mental health, that's such a far stretch.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is it's a simple thing called generational curse. We never believed in therapy. I went to therapy, but we never believed in it. I got so sick of myself, I told myself I had to go. Because even though I was connected with God, I needed something else too. I needed to deal with my issues. I needed to deal with the concerns. I needed to deal with my trauma. I needed to deal with my hurt and the pain that I tried to mask. And it just never works that way. We deal with so much coming from and let's just leave the trauma alone. We deal with so much that has been passed down to generation that came from even our ancestors. And that is rammed down in our blood. And so if we don't deal with the action, we will never be well. And that takes a couple of places in front of us. We got to put in the work, because you can be healed.
Yes,
but we gotta believe it, and we gotta put in the work. And I'm telling you, once you start putting in the work, even if you just try it. Once you start putting in that work, you'll enjoy it. It'll be hard at first. When I first started going to therapy, I didn't know how to talk because I've been private all my life. And anything I ever felt, I just bottled it up and I just kept it within me. But I would find that every time I needed to handle a situation with a wisdom mind, I could never do it because I'm holding so much hurt inside of me that I would always act out of control.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
you see that from us now in our community. We have no conflict resolution.
Nope.
We don't
Everything is
know how
gonna
to
be
handle
fine.
our problems. And this goes far
That's right.
greater than we could ever see. But guess what? There's healing in it. You can be healed.
Yes.
You can be delivered.
Yes.
You can be right where you
Yes.
need to be. But you got to put in that work. It's not easy, but just think about it this way. If you have children and your children see you always in a trauma situation, you don't think your kids want you out of that? And then we
That's
pass
true.
down a if we don't get healed, now we have given our children a complex. You know what I did with my
Mm-hmm.
children, and I did it years ago. Once I got dealt with myself and really dealt with my issues, man, I set all of my children down and I said, children, I want you to talk to me for a moment. And I cried because I let them talk to me. And I said, what do you see? What issues do you see in your mother? Do you know that's the
Mm-hmm.
hardest thing for a mother to do? When she
Ooh-wee.
feels like she done
Ooh-wee.
been right all her life and she's
Come on.
done right all the time.
Come
That's the
on.
Mm-hmm.
hardest thing you could ever do. But you open up conversation to your children so they can tell you what they see. Because sometimes you too, whatever you want to be to even see who you need to be. We never put a mirror in our face. And we need to
Ooh-wee.
start doing that more because sometimes your mirror will be your child.
And sometimes your mirror will be the man or the woman that you with. Oh, we man,
You
man,
That
know
shout
what?
out
too.
to
And
But
my
that too. But when it's your child, it hurts. Because
yeah.
now you can't take the fool out of them that they seen in you.
Right, right. Man, shout
you
out
know
to
what?
King Dwayne. We got King Dwayne Anthony on the panel. What's going on, bro? Back from Jamaican Islands.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Oh, he got an accent too.
Oh, I had
Come on, man. Come on,
I
man.
actually she said something that I actually had done with my father. My father and my mom, they were married. My mom was 17, he was 21. And when I was a little girl, being the only girl from my parents, I was just a little, little doll. And I love my family. Every time I see my cousins, everybody, great grandma, I just love my family. But when I saw my dad hit my mother one day,
Mm.
and I was 10, and I just got home from school, and he was rumbling with her, and I was like, stop, 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 and whatnot. And I pulled on my dad. And when I pulled on my dad, I was doing like this. I'm like, you gonna kill my mama, you gonna kill my mama. And he slapped my head upside the dresser. It took me 30 years to forgive my father
Ooh.
because the rage that I felt inside, I felt at that time like my mind had shifted. And when I looked at him as a prey that I need to get rid of
Mhm.
because my mom, she was defenseless. But for some reason, my mother had this strength and she took my father and she threw him up against the wall. She said, you don't touch my daughter. And so when my brother, half brother, that because he had an affair with somebody else, and I had a conversation with my father, and I said, I want to know, how did my brother get here? He said, well, your mama shot me. I said, yeah, I know. She did. I saw her. She shot you with a 22 caliber. It was about something, but I didn't know it was about a child until later. And I
Mm.
said, so you had this War of the Roses marriage with mama, but you all have two innocent lives in the picture that did not ask to see the violence. I said, have you ever thought about that? He said, no. I said, okay. I said, but do you know that that hurt me as well, being your only daughter from your marriage?
Mm-hmm.
I said, then you went and you procreated with another woman who didn't give a rat's tail about her marriage, and got you. And you, I said, I said, I understand what Mama did. I'm not saying that what she did was right. I said, but as a little girl, do you know that I lost you when I was 10? And the uncles had to raise me. My grandmother's brothers had to raise me, give me things that I needed. I didn't ask to learn how to look. Don't get scared now. My uncle taught me how to use a double barrel shotgun. So you know a 38 and a 22 ain't nothing but a toy to me.
Oh yeah, especially if you using that double barrel.
You know what I mean?
Especially
You
if
know
you
what
using
I'm
that double
saying?
barrel. Yeah.
He was a World War II vet. He didn't have no place to know. You the only girl, you need to know how to defend yourself. But my father, when she mentioned that, that struck because my dad set up, and this was 2018. Yeah. And I said, Dad, took me 30 years, man. Took me 30 years. Where you can be able to tell me, baby, this is what you shouldn't do, or you shouldn't choose this way, that way. You know, and I said, but I'm not one of you all. I didn't go out there and get on drugs, wasn't out there prostitute, none of that stuff. I said, but understand, as my father, the man that you are, you literally died in my world when I was 10.
Wow.
Did I want to see you? Yes or no? Because I'm going to tell you something. This is real life. When I graduated from high school, neither one of them came to my graduation. My mother was pissed off at me for inviting my daddy. And my daddy said, well, I can't show because your mother. So guess who was solo? I was solo by myself at my high school graduation.
Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee.
The moments of my life, graduated top 10 of my class. What's that? Because they were at it. When you invited him, I ain't coming. When you invited her, I ain't coming.
So now you like, what do I do?
I moved on because I had a good support system of friends, being the only girl without having any siblings. And I took the roadmap that my grandmother's sister had done in her life. She had a husband that was an alcoholic, and she annoyed him, and she stayed single till she died. But she had money. She learned how to survive, and I trusted God all the way. So when she was mentioning about what we do in front of our children, those things have a cause and effect. And depending on how it orchestrates in a child's mind till they're adult, one thing my aunt told me, never get in grown folks' situations. I understood. Because even with divorce would make children confused.
Yes.
It's a damage and death to a child.
And I don't want to cut y'all, but I'm say this: that what your aunt told you, that's great advice. Never get as a child, don't get in somebody's grown business. Kevin Samuels, a lot of people used to hate that man, but when when the women come on there and start talking about, oh, my mama was still sleeping around with my father, my mama this, he would say, you shouldn't be getting in your mother and father's business. And I totally agree with that. I'm gonna say this, 'cause, we kind of moving a little. We got to get close to time. Is that, and we're gonna let King Dwayne come in and speak. But I do like what you said when you was like, as the father gonna say this part to the kid, and the mom say this to the kid. That's duality, but that's not what's happening in the world today. What I see, what young people have come and talked to me about, and I work with young people. Where I'm gonna add on now because it was 17 years, but I recently just started back driving school bus again. But talking to young people and having young people approach me and talk about relationships, it's always been, my mother against my daddy against my mother. What is my daddy taught? What did your daddy taught you? What did your mom taught me? This is what they taught me. This is what I learned, and it's always been negative. But what you talking about, Evangelist Katrina, where the father say, all right, this is, you gotta talk about your hormones. And then mom gonna say your nature gonna rise, but you can't let it rise too much. That is what we need. That is what we need. But as I was speaking of earlier, though, is that it really is the father. It really is the father that's got to release and talk to their daughters, because we have daughters these days that did not learn from their father about women, and therefore they have a lot of misconceived notions when they entertain a man, and a lot of these young men, they're not going for it. Like, nah, I can't go for it. They gonna get as much as they can get out of you and leave. Let me go on and bring King Dwayne in, man. Good friend, good buddy. This brother, he drops a lot of knowledge and truth as well.
Hey, shout out to everybody on the panel. It's good to be in the Lord's house. Yes, sir. Uh, I had to get on over and get situated in this trucker life. You already know. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But Dr. Katrina, man, she said some things, man. You already know. Uh, she hit on that divorce stuff, man, and the relationships. Um, yeah, man, it's a lot of things that I could touch on, man. I'm not gonna try to, it's a mouthful, man. But at the end of the day, you already know, there's some things in the scripture that, Lord Joe, you hit it on the head when you talked about the fathers. And I've asked many times when I've had the opportunity to really get serious with women in private, in conversation, in any type of uh, therapy type situation, anything like that. I've asked the question, how many can really say that they've spent 18 years under the same roof as their dad? That's not really a majority thing today. And when you think about the scriptures and you think about some of the things uh, that make our God who it makes him, um, everything comes from the mouth. The power is off the tongue, life and death. And when you hear things like, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. Uh, I know the thoughts I have towards you, thoughts of good, not of evil. These are not just things coming off the voice of our Lord, but these are the things that, in the image of God, if we're going to love like Christ love, starting with our first disciple, our woman, before we even put a child there, we got to understand these very words that we see prophetically from the scriptures, that the men can also prophesy that before you even formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. Any man that has not yet impregnated the woman of his choice, he is carrying around his seed right now. That means that every move you're making, spiritually, the connection, you're the tree, your child is in you right now before you even choose a woman to impregnate. So one of the greatest signs of respect is, number one, who you choose as that mother. That's going to be the mother of your children. And what you're bringing those children into. So if you complained, or you saw parents complaining about the lack of wealth or things like that, or where they lived, or different things like that, your first opportunity in life as a man, and even as the woman joining with that man, is that we're going to bring our children into situations that are not impoverished. That's starting with number one. And so everything is about breaking generational curses and not creating new ones. And so we got to be careful with that. Very hard to hear what Dr. Katrina was talking about, what she witnessed with her mother and the father. And I appreciate Kiki for being so transparent about therapy. There's a lot of things that we need as a people. There's a lot of steps. There's a lot of moves we got to make as a people. And by the time you get down to divorces and different things like that, the most important part about that is if the choices have not been right, the issue is that if you've brought children into the world, you're now unplugging those children from the power source, because that father goes from possibly being in the house to now being a scheduled dad, and you've unplugged those children from the source, which is the beginning of the seed of insecurity.
Come on.
Because if you've prophesied that before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you, the thoughts I had to you, I have of good and not of evil, those are all prophetic. But when those children look around and see brokenness, mommy's raising, daddy has got to be somewhere else because they didn't work. Now they start to think that they were a mistake. And they start to wonder, why are we growing up in separateness? And then it starts, if they starting to believe they're oops, then that's where the insecurity comes in. We have got to be better about the decisions we make. And it's got to be higher thought process than what's in our pants and being undisciplined with who we're doing this with. Because as the scriptures say, for this reason, a man leaves his mother and father, cleaves to his wife. They must rear up the one flesh. What could the one flesh only be? Your children.
Your children.
So by the time they are in existence, God cares about that seed more than he worried about y'all. How are you going to rear up the seed you created? And so we gotta do better with that, so that this next generation is always better than us. Uh, you can't control the family you were born in, but once you choose mates, that's the greatest family you could ever have, because you're creating it. We just got to be better. Got to be better.
Can I say something
Absolutely.
really quick?
Go ahead.
I will say, hey, King Dwayne, I will say this: the problem is our choosing. We're not choosing for the right reasons. Sometimes we're selfish because we're not looking at the long run. We're not looking at the bigger picture. And at some point, age has nothing to do with wisdom. We used to think that the older that you grow, you gain wisdom, but that's not necessarily true, because I've seen people older than me not have wisdom. And so you have to, well, not you have to, but we have to, because I don't want to do that. We have to get to the point where we're actually seeking better. We're about to die off. It's the same thing as being in the church. And you have leaders that will not step down to let younger ones up, but you train them before they get up.
Ooh.
And so we don't want to move from our position, but we don't want to train the younger ones to come up. The church will die off if we're not careful. You have to train the younger to step up to be who they need to be, so that legacy lives.
Right.
And so we have to figure this out, and we have to do it in a way of not leaning to our own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. We have to get to the moments outside of our own fleshly thought. We are of the flesh. This thing is spiritual. You cannot fight this battle in the flesh. This is spiritual. And that means a spiritual mindset. That means a spiritual tongue hold. Hold that tongue. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it for the growth.
Yep.
Hold it for the faith. Hold it for your children. These children see too much. We've done too much in front of these kids, and they don't even respect us, and they don't respect law. I tell my kids, as soon as you think that you can run this home, you got to get out of here, because you shall not run my home. So we have to teach our children, but our children have also, these children are very wise.
Yes,
They're very wise, and they're watching. And the thing is, when they see you do wrong, they're standing right there. And you ain't even seen them standing there to get yourself together. We have to do better. We can change all of this. But the change, you also have to desire the change. To speak of it is nothing. You have to desire it. You got to want it. You got to eat it. You got to feed from it. And then you can move. We got to change, though. We cannot be selfish about this anymore. It is shifting. If you watch, the world is shifting right before your eyes. If you don't believe in the Bible, go and read it, because exactly what's going on in this world has already happened in the Bible.
Yep.
God has already shown you what is about to happen, and we're not ready for the fight. And you can't fight it in the flesh. That's a war. That's a war that you cannot win. I'm done.
Right.
All right, well, we're gonna shut this thing down. I gotta be getting up in the morning. Real quick, Evangelist Katrina, if you got any final words, we're gonna get out of here.
Well, we just gotta always stay prayerful and go back to the basics. The basics are always the main starter from the beginning. Go back to the original blueprint and start over again.
Absolutely.
And wherever you feel that you may have failed or you've fallen, Go back and repent to the Lord and ask Him to create in you a clean heart and renew you a right
Yes.
spirit. But also pray for your children because, as she just formally stated, these kids are totally different brand.
They're different.
They have a lot to talk about. A lot.
Absolutely.
A lot. And these are not open right now. They doing all of this. But explain to them, because every child or children should know how their parents are. And to the parents that are co-parenting, please, for the sake of your children, stop fighting. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. It's too many of our kids now are committing suicide. Ain't no more white
Oh.
kids no more. There are black kids committing suicide, teenagers committing suicide because the parents can't come together.
Mm.
It's happening. This is real. This is real life.
Yeah.
So let's continue to pray, stay before God, turn the plate down, cut off the TV, don't look at the black family no more for a minute. Get a black family and look all the queens being arrested and get in that word.
Come on. You're
That's
right.
it.
Get that word. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, all right. Hey, I appreciate everybody tonight. We're going to go ahead and slow it on down. Man, y'all know how we do, man. Just shout out my chat room. First, we do, you know how we do. We do the shout out of the chat room first, then we shout out our panel, and then we're gonna get up out of here tonight. We are gonna get up out of here tonight, man. So who we had in who do we have in the chat room on tonight? We had Kiki and just that's who it was. So all right. Give Kiki the 3 times for the Trinity salute. And to our panel tonight, man, shout out to Pastor John Girton, man. We had Danger, we had Minister Tony, we had Kiki, we had Dr. Katrina Sanders, we had King Dwayne, man. 3 times for the Trinity salute to all of them. If you missed the promo, please go back and rewatch this show. Pastor G was doing a promo for on I think this Saturday. That panel discussion, getting people that the resource that they need to be able to talk about whatever it is that's going on in their life. Where they need some help. They might need some mental help, and that's really important. That's really important. We are indeed behind on some things, and black people. I believe that once we can start getting that together, we can then begin to unify with each other, because a lot of the political things that we spoke about with Pastor G on tonight, it stems from that. Come on. And it's just important that we really get this together, because man, I'm gonna tell you, we are looking bad with the countries that's trying to dog us now. Skills, I'm not with them trying to dog us. I'm totally against them on that dogging thing. But at the end of the day, we do have problems in our community. We are a huge culprit of our problems. My thing is this: is that you just not gonna come from a different country and try to talk down on us for our problems, but you want our help. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You talking about, your parents got people they bring it from different countries here and all that. Cool. But don't sit there and try to down us, because you down us, you can go back to where you came from. That's just as simple as that. You want to dog us, talk bad all about us, go back to where you came from and figure it out yourself. That's just the way I feel about it. But anywho, man, we thankful for everybody that has came on the show tonight, man. Come back next Thursday. Don't be no stranger. Come back next Thursday and sit and chop it up with us. Man, enjoy yourself. Now have a great time. Be safe this weekend. We got a lot of events here, especially in Indianapolis is going on. Still summer. Be safe, watch your surroundings, man. Watch your surroundings. So without further ado, man, ladies and gentlemen, hey, have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you in 7 nights. Peace. Be blessed.
You've got to be some kind of dream. Decide to smoke the best of the weed. I've never seen your pedigree. You're not the average type, you're a different kind of breed. Wait a minute, cause I gotta slow it down. If I could, I would sell you by the pound. Cause you got my mind spinning like a roller coaster. Every day, every night, got my moves in it. See, your love is like a drug, I can't get enough. Everything I see got your face on it. It don't matter where you are, I just wanna go. Everything you do, I'm just loving it. I'm so wrapped up in your love, don't you let it go. Always on my mind, no control of it. Can't help it, no, can't shake it, no, can't let it go. I think I'm about to lose my buzz, so let me refill my cup, love. Have you ever felt like you was losing your mind? Well, I'm going shot for shot, cause I'm taking my time. It's like going through a permanent hangover. One mistake, lose your trust and it's all over. Keeping us up every night and it's gonna take its toll. That's how I know I'm gonna sip this drink slow. See, your love is like a drug, I can't get enough. Everything I see is got your face and it don't matter where you are, I just wanna go. Everything you do, I'm just loving it. I'm so wrapped up in your love, don't you let it go, Always on my mind, no control of it. Can't help it, no, can't shake it, no, can't let it go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Saying I was stop coming back to you when I think I'm through. Everything I see reminds me of the times when I relax. Why you take me back, baby? I'm attached. You keep breaking my recovery. I keep saying I was stop coming back to you when I think I'm through. Everything I see reminds me of the times when I relax. Why you take me back, baby? I'm attached. You keep breaking my recovery.
I feel like I'm in rehab or something.
It reminds me
it's hard for me to live without you. You know what I'm saying? Get me laying in my bed with you.
See, your love is like a drug, I can't get enough. Everything I see is got your face on it.